Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book 91. We are sitting down with Will from Ready to Love. We are gonna chop it up. I know he's got some things to say about his experience on the show and his journey. We can't wait to have this glorious conversation. Will, how you doing today, man?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Appreciate you for
That's
having me on.
No, never a problem, Captain. Never a problem. We appreciate it, honestly. Listen, it's good to have you on here, and it's an honor to have you to have a conversation. I can't wait to dive into some of the conversations about your journey. But always on this channel, we like to get to know people. So before we get anywhere near there, we will love to get to know you. But before we do that, audience, quick thing: keep it cute, keep it classy, and keep it kosher in the chat, please. The moderators will block you or they put you on timeout if you misbehave. Okay, so keep it cute, keep it classy, and keep it kosher. All right, we're gonna get into some conversations tonight. But before we do, Will, I like to do a thing called human verification. Okay, I want to make sure. All right, I want to make sure now that you are a human being, because you could be a handsome AI. You know what I'm saying to you? So we never know. So I've got a few questions. Here's my first question. If you're on a plane, the plane says you can make a landing anywhere. You can land in any country you want. They'll go wherever you want to go. Where would you want that plane to go?
Hmm. And that's a good question. If I can go anywhere in the world,
Mm-hmm.
I love Toronto. Toronto. I mean, I've been there a million times, but it's just something about like the city of Toronto. It's a great city for business. It's just like I just love Toronto. Like not even like on some Drake stuff. It's just Toronto's a dope city. So like I would definitely like land in Toronto, hang out in Yorkville. That's kind of like my vibe.
Okay. All right, I'm with it. I'm with it. I like Toronto nuts. I like it. I'm gonna have to join you, to be honest. I need to pay a visit myself, so I ain't gonna lie to you on that one. I'm with it.
Hey,
All right.
Carolina, it's a vibe, man. Carolina.
I'm gonna have to get into it. All right, cool. Question number two. Android or iPhone?
If you'd have asked me this question 10 years ago, I would have said Android. But I'm not gonna lie, I've come over to the dark side. It's Team iPhone, man. iPhone all the way.
Disappointed, brother. Disappointed.
Got
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. I appreciate it. All right, cool. Third question: cereal or the milk in the bowl first, my guy?
Oh man, I gotta put the cereal in first and then the milk, bro. I don't know. It's kind of weird to put the milk in and then the cereal. I feel like the cereal not gonna float to the bottom. So that's just my logic. Hey, whatever floats someone's boat, but I gotta put the cereal in first and the milk second.
Okay, I hear it. I hear it. Listen, you've passed our human verification. Audience asking, can you center yourself a little bit in the camera? They want you to be a little bit more central, a little bit more central, just a little bit. There we go. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Look at that, beautiful. Oh,
Better for
y'all, the
y'all.
message going. There we
I
go.
need to move over.
You're good. You're good, Captain. All right, cool. Listen, let's get into this. Listen, I like to always get to know the people first and get to know who they are as well, because you're more than just ready to love, and you have a life outside of that. So my first question to you, Captain, is who is Will, and what is Will's story?
That's a good question. I mean, I say this all the time, like when I'm talking at the bank or talking in business. My name is Will Cyrus, no relation to Miley Cyrus. I'm a real estate developer here out in Dallas, Texas. I'm a believer in Christ. I believe in God, believe in Jesus. I ain't no perfect Christian now. I love the Lord, but if you try me, I ain't gonna lie. I might cuss you out. I ain't gonna know. I'm just keeping it real, keeping it trill. But I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. Um, I mean, I'm a cool dude. I'm laid back. I'm funny. I'm from South Beach, South Florida, Pompano Beach, born and raised. I'm a Florida boy through and through. So if people should watch the show and they understood Florida culture, they would understand like the way that I talk, the way that I vibe, the way that we joke, we have fun. That's just that's just who we are in Florida. Like Florida is different than anywhere else in the world. It's its own country, right? Like you can be in Texas, like I live in Dallas. You can be in Jacksonville, Florida. You can be in Orlando, Florida. But it's just something different about people from South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach. Our vibe is just our vibe. So, you know, I didn't come from like, no silver spoon. My story, rags to riches, got it out the mud. I never had a mentor, never had somebody to teach me the game, never had somebody to come and save me. Of course, like God saved me, but I had to figure this journey in this life out on my own. Like I didn't have a rich auntie or rich uncle, so I spent a lot of nights, hustling and grinding. I made some unpopular decisions in my past. In my adolescence, growing up. I kind of did what everybody else was doing in my neighborhood, but long story short, God spared me. God had favor on me for whatever reason, and He allowed me to make it out of my situation, make it out of my neighborhood, and become one of the first in my family to graduate college. Become a millionaire, do well in business. It's just I don't know it. That's just who I am at the end of the day. I'm just that cat from the hood, wasn't the smartest book wise, but I had a whole lot of street smarts, and it allowed for me to be successful in life. So that's just like my long story, short story. That's like the epitome and the essence of who Will is. You feel me?
I definitely feel you on that one. Now you spoke obviously, you speak about God a lot in your situation as well. Tell us obviously maybe give us a little bit more insight into your relationship with God and how you came about to being a Christian in that space.
Nah, for sure, for sure. So like I'll kind of talk about where I am now, and then I'll kind of take a journey back to the past, right?
Of course.
Like, I would say in this season of life, I'm the most successful I've ever been, right? Most successful I've ever had. You know, real estate's been good. I got properties all over the city. Um, financially, like bank account is full, but I'm in that season like man in the whole world losing. So I'm really in my life and really like I don't want to return back to my first love like comparable to lost type deal, but I'm really like balancing like getting money at the same time like giving my full commitment money to God like in other areas of my life. So now I broke up
Hold on,
when we
Will.
have a lot less
Your
money.
Wi-Fi,
God Wi-Fi. Hold on.
your connection went off,
Can
my brother. Sorry, like it's giving us Ted Riley, unfortunately. Oh wait, are you back? As soon as you start talking about
see what's up
Jesus and
with
your
my
connection,
connection.
look what happened. The devil tried to play us. The devil
The
thought he
devil.
had you.
That was
He thought he had you. Mm. I don't know
he
if you want
had
to
it.
try. Let's see if we can
Can you
do
hear
it
me now?
again. Just try. Yeah, we had. Go for it again, cats. You know what? The devil tried it, but go on.
All right. Can y'all hear me good?
We can indeed, and
Is
you looking. We can see you again. So
okay, y'all can see me again?
go for it, Cap.
All
Yeah,
right, for
we can
sure.
try again.
Yeah. I think essentially like long story short, like, financially I'm in the highest financial like I've ever been in my life. But like I'm just really like focusing on like on my relationship with Jesus even further, right? I think even early on more like like when you do you kind of got that shot, you feel like everybody gets it, you like so on fire for the Lord. And then over the years, I kind of like, I'm a realist with I kind of like on me, want to move, doing what I want to do. So like, that's like the season that I'm growing out of in this particular moment. Just going back to like how I got saved or whatever. I didn't grow up in church, bro. Like I ain't. It wasn't a requirement in my household to go to church. In the hood, where we from, we only went to church for funerals and court dates. Like
Yep.
that's the only you know what I'm saying. You talking to a pastor, you trying to get out of a situation, or one of your homies that you grew up with in the neighborhood passed away, right? Or a loved one died. Outside of that, in my household, we didn't go to church. That just wasn't our thing. So rather should I say the Lord found me probably like 2011 was when
Mm.
like I was going through some things, some situations at that time. One of my homeboys, he died, in the streets.
Damn.
Yeah, and that really like it kind of shook my world because that was my best friend growing up. So, when old boy committed suicide, it kind of like did something to me mentally to kind of make me like ask questions I never really asked before. Like,
Mm.
okay, what happened to me when I like, you know, like where am I going? Like I'm in these streets, I'm doing what I'm doing. It's like, what's next for me? Like, where do I go? Where do I turn? And that's when I started my journey of like, you know, trying to seek out God, try to figure this thing out, go to church. Cause you know, at that time, like I still got gold teeth in my mouth. Like people look at my Instagram, like I had a mouth full of gold. Like I had a 20 wall, like top and bottom, 10 to the top, 10 to the bottom. So like church at that time, like, you know, I feel like when I walked in church, I was getting judged, I was getting prejudged or whatever the case may be. So like I was, you know, in that season of my life trying to figure out this whole church thing and, you know, my identity, who I was at the time. My homeboy just got, you know, my homeboy died. I kind of went through that journey, discovered myself in Christ. That's kind of when that, you know, I kind of took off spiritually, you know, kind of left the streets alone, moved away from the streets, doing what I was doing, and, you know, finished my degree, graduated, 2013 from the University of South Florida out of Temple. So after I graduated, life kind of just took off fast from there, like business wise, entrepreneurial, corporate wise. Did corporate America for a little bit, left corporate America and decided to bet on myself. Started my own company, got into real estate, and things kind of took off for me. But you know, I would say like that spiritual turn for me was when my best friend died, and then when my best friend died, that kind of like grew me closer to the Lord because at that moment, like I had to talk to God. You know, I couldn't just talk to myself to like, you know, go through these emotions I was feeling at that time, right? So I had to lean on the Lord to kind of figure out like what's next for me, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna move, what's my identity as a man, because being in the streets, they're like I'm not gonna be able to provide for my family long term, right? I can't leave no legacy doing what I was doing, so I had to figure out, okay, who is Will? What is Will good at? How can Will be a positive contribution to this world? How can Will be a provider, a leader? Lead his family. Have if I want kids one day, which I do. Like what do I want? My legacy to be, and that's kind of when I went on that journey. And like God really just set me on a path to where I'm at today. And that's why I kind of go back to like right now I'm in that season of like I know where God took me from spiritually, and I know where I am now, like from a worldly aspect. I'm just really trying to like rediscover myself in this season in Christ and like really like cling on to my first love. Cause like, like when you fall in love with somebody for the first time, everything's so new. You love this person, you spend a lot of time with that person. And then at some point, if you're not careful, you can take that person for granted, you know. And that's kind of like where I am, like truthfully speaking, like really just like I gotta get it right. Like I know my issues and my pitfalls, and that's where I'm at.
Man, that's heavy, man. Obviously, losing a friend, that is never an easy thing. As well. Did you come from a so you came from a Christian background? I'm guessing. Then were your parents Christian already or whatever, or was this something you just found the Lord randomly? Or I shouldn't say randomly, but almost in a sense of you came to the Lord without having those parents or anything like that.
I mean, like my mom believed in God, my grandma and them, of course, like well, at least in my black community, we believe in God. That's one thing about it. Like we might cuss like a sailor or whatever, but we believe in the Lord. Now, in my household, we didn't go to church. Like, my grandma wasn't no everyday church goer, but on my dad's side, so I'm talking about my mom's side, we didn't go to church because I live with my mom.
Mm,
But on my dad's side, my great grandma, like she was like very, very heavily involved in the church and would, baby, I'm praying for you. You're gonna get out these streets, you're gonna become somebody one day. So I would say I'm living in her prayers. Like she definitely prayed for me and spoke some things over me, spoke into my life, and that seed is kind of like what it is today. You feel me? But I ain't grow up in church. Like I don't have no story of being at church for 6 hours. Children's church. That wasn't me. I was in the streets. I was running around like doing what I was doing. I was like, take care of myself. So God really found me. I wasn't really looking for God at that time. Until my homeboy died, then that's when I was like, all right, Lord, I'm trying to figure out what this thing about.
mm. It's crazy. It's interesting as well. Whenever you hear people's kind of testimony as well as to why they came to God, some of us come for trivial reasons, some of us come for more serious reasons as to why we come to God as well. Obviously, being in a Christian space now and coming to God as well. Like, how has it been? I know you obviously said the financial blessings have come about, but how has it been? Obviously, navigating the relationship with God now in this time in this season.
For me, what I'm gonna say is like I feel like the more money you make, if you don't have the right community, so the big thing is community, right? And I think you gotta establish that community when you ain't got nothing. So that when you do get something, you have solid people in your corner to kind of help you grow through those different levels because new levels, new devils, you feel me? So I think for me, I was so like focused on the grind, I was so focused on hustling that I kind of like I wasn't really even paying attention, but I kind of like got away from my community and I started doing me, you feel me? And then doing me, I kind of like got more into like, when you start making real paper, like real paper, I'm talking like millions, you're introduced to a lot of stuff that you're not gonna see if you're making 100,000 a year, if you're making 50,000 a year, right? Um, different kind of parties you're able to have access to. They doing all types of drugs, they doing what they doing. They into all type of weird stuff that you would never be exposed to, whether you Christian or non-Christian, right? If you was making 50,000 a year, right? So 50K USD, which is where you at, it's probably like 60K, right? Um, it's just different levels of access to perspectives of this world. So it's like, when you're around a lot of that stuff, you ain't careful. Like, I ain't never did no drugs or nothing, but you know, I seen a lot of stuff like, how they get down, how they move, the weird stuff they into. So like as a Christian, it can be very difficult to navigate and be a light through all that because you around it so much, right? This is your everyday atmosphere. Like you gotta do business with these people. Like in community, one thing about community, you become a product of your environment. So I know for me, you know, I be having to be like, dang, bro, like, I can't go back to the old way. I can't, I ain't gonna lie, like, I got hood residue. So like if somebody say something wrong to me, I'm ready to snap. Like I'm ready to like what's happening, like I'm ready to hit somebody with a two-piece chicken dinner, you feel me? So like I be still like I be having to attain that hood side of me, like, cause can't nobody talk to me crazy. Like I don't play like that. Like you can't talk to me crazy. You can't be, you know, I don't
I get
know.
you,
I
saying.
I be trying to like really, really pipe down, but you know, um, I just think for me it's extremely difficult, like navigating through all that. You feel me?
Mm. No, I get that. I get that. So obviously going through what you're going through, like I said, obviously there's the money issue, situation. Like you said, obviously there are different situations that are in that place as well that are a bit crazy, which I definitely understand as well. Um, but like I said, obviously, like so aside the money aspect, what's the relationship? What's the relationship with God like now? So aside money, I know that money is a big thing because money, the Bible says serve money, serve mammon, or serve God. I totally hear that. But just to get us a bit of an understanding, what's your relationship with God like now? Like how outside of money, what else the scope is there?
Yeah, I think just alluding back to earlier, it's just like returning back in a sense, to your first love. Like what profits a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul. So it's like really like being more intentional on my prayer life.
Mm,
Being more on the things I feed my mind with, like the type of music I'm listening to, because that really has a large impact on your day, right? Like I ain't
yeah.
gonna lie, if I start my day with trap music, I'm ready to set it off. Like you feel me? If I'm in traffic,
Ready to ride the
drive,
dawn.
somebody beat me the wrong way, I'm ready to pull the yop out. So like you know, um, I think like really just I'm really focusing, like on like really getting back in the community. That's one thing I'm on, and just really like tighten it up in the areas I know that I'm weak in. That's just me where I'm at. Like I know I'm not where I'm supposed to be, or or rather should I say where I can be. I ain't living up to that standard, so I'm just trying to, especially like you as a man, right? You want to be married one day, you want to lead a family. I feel like, the greatest call of a leader. especially like leading a family is like, how are you preparing like spiritually, like your prayer life? It's kind of hard to lead a family, lead a kingdom, whatever the case may be, if you ain't on your knees. And I'm really focusing in on being a man of prayer, praying more, being more in my word. So that's the things that I'm focusing on that I know I gotta do better on if I wish to be that type of man that I know I need to be in
Trust
the
me.
future family. You feel me?
I definitely hear that, 100%. Okay, so thank you for even sharing that, because obviously as a Christian myself as well, I know that it ain't easy. You know what I mean, and that being in prayer is so important when it comes to the life of a Christian, but the life of somebody like you said who's gonna build a legacy and a family. You know what I mean? A man that's on his knees, the Lord is able to speak to him and show him visions and dreams that will affect his life in the future. So I appreciate you sharing that aspect. Obviously you spoke obviously about even preparing yourself as a husband to be in a sense of future wise. Talk to us a little bit about because you came on to Ready to Love, so clearly you were looking for someone to love, right? So talk to us a little bit about your dating history. What's that been like for Will? Because being a millionaire and dating ain't no joke. So talk to me about your dating history. What's it been like for you?
To be honest with you, I kind of start back off from the beginning.
Mm,
I felt like I had my best dating experiences. I'm gonna say like when I was more like hood, like when I was in the streets or whatever. I felt like I had. It's not gonna make sense to some people, but it makes sense to me, right? I feel like I had my better dating experiences in my early 20s, right? Like I'm 32 now. I'll be 33 in July. But like 19, about 24, 25 ish, at my best dating experiences.
mm,
Um, I just feel like dating was more lit back then. Like it just, I don't know what it was. It's like a lot. Some women, not saying all women, because my dating experiences are pretty cool now at 32. But at 25, like I feel like I met a lot more women that wanted to build more so with me because at that time I wasn't as established as I am today, right?
mm,
Um, I feel like a lot of women I were dating, they saw that, oh, I can help him, right? Oh, I can be that missing piece, or, oh, like I see myself having a place in his life, right? So I felt like at that time, dating experience was a lot different, a lot better. It was more about like, okay, we can build this together, whoop de whoop. Um, Compared to now, of course, like I'm dating my equals in the sense, right? Women who got their own bag, they doctors, attorneys, whatever, right? They got great careers, entrepreneurs, IT, whatever. Like the world is my oyster, right? But I just think that like the more money you make and the more clear as a man that you have an ideal of what your true purpose is, you got an identity, you got a vision, you got something that you can articulate to a woman, the more clear focus you are on those things, it's harder to find someone that can essentially be a
that's that.
helpmate, like a woman who I see what he got going on. I whoop whoop. Let me be his helpmate. Like it gets a lot more difficult when you
Mm.
look at it from a different lens as opposed to, oh, I'm just gonna talk to her just to talk to her, whoop whoop, da da da. So that'll be my 2 cents on that.
That makes sense. I definitely understand that. So obviously for you then, what has been your longest relationship, and why did that relationship end?
My longest relationship, that's off and on count. I mean, I guess me and old girl was off and on for about 2 years.
Okay.
If you want to add up the time we was actually together, we'll call it like maybe like a year and a half ish, give or take. Um, and why did it end? I mean, I ain't gonna bad talk Shawty. At the end of the day, I don't believe she was my helpmate. I don't believe I was the man that was meant to lead her. We just had irreconcilable differences on how we saw family, how we saw the future. We just I ain't like I said, I ain't gonna bad talk Shawty. She just wasn't my person. I wasn't her person. And I wish her the best. And I know she'll probably get that someday with some other dude. It just ain't me. So I'm just gonna leave that like that.
Okay. So do you feel like your dating experiences have followed a similar pattern, and if so, why?
I would say in a sense, I mean, obviously, right? I ain't married yet, right? But I think why is I don't know.
No, that's all.
I just haven't. I'm gonna say the word realize because I could have met my wife. I don't know. I just haven't realized who that person is yet. It could be my own doing, my own immaturity, or my own inability to see what's right in front of my face. It could be a lot of things, right? But I know also as well. I'm more in tune with what I need as opposed to what I want, right? And I used to live my life based on wants, right? Oh, I want this. I want to look like this. I want to have this. Oh, I want this. I want that. And now I'm like, okay, well, like you a dude with a large vision, right? You want. It's okay to want somebody to look good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you know that legacy, it hit a little different when you know in your mind, like, okay, I can't build with this shot that I'm talking to right now for the next 50, 60 years. Cause I'm telling God like I'm gonna live to 90 something, Lord. Like you ain't gonna take me off like in my 70s. So, I'm looking more long term when I'm talking to a chick. I'm like, all right, do I see 40 plus years with Shawty? If not, I gotta move around, like, cause it ain't what we doing.
Mm. So for you, for you, you've experienced that. You know, you're looking for somebody who's going to be long, who's going to have that longevity, not just be a good-looking woman, but you need somebody you can build with and continue that legacy that you wanna grow, right?
Hey, boy, she gotta look good too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like,
That's
hey,
fair.
boy, I gotta be able to look to you when I wake up. Now, like we got. Hey, that's
Okay,
a need. That ain't a want.
I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it. So has there been any relationship that you've actually had that you're like, you know what, that was a blessed relationship, as in it was a good relationship. I learned a lot from that relationship, and if so, what did you learn?
Yeah, so I actually had a talk ship. It wasn't necessarily a relationship.
That's fair.
I was in college. I was newly saved at that time. Of course, when you newly saved, you be in your word every day, all day, trying to get
Mm-hmm.
everybody saved. But
Trust me.
I was talking, I was talking to this one particular young lady. I ain't gonna say her name, but she was in the town that I was in. She was living in Tampa with me. Not we weren't living together, but she was living in Tampa when I was living in Tampa. Um, I ain't gonna lie, like that was my best dating experience. Like we did fast together. Like we went to church together, we prayed together, read the word together. Like that was just like the best by far dating experience I've ever had. And to be honest, I fumbled that bad. You know, at that time I was what 22. This was 2012, so I was 21, 22. Like whatever I was in 2012. So I'm 32 now. So I was a little immature. Like I didn't really understand what I had at that time. I was 22. Like, of course, right? I kind of took that for granted. Like, oh, there's plenty of women out here like that. Woo, woo, da da da. And the reason why I say it was my best dating experience because I see how blessed the man that she has now, and how they like they bearing fruit. And that let me know, like, boy, you tripping, boy. Like, you had you a good one back then. Like, you sleep, boy. Like, I don't know what you was on, what you was thinking, but I still like, I celebrate her. Like, I'm happy for her. At the end of the day, like they bearing fruit, so I can't hate on that. You feel me? But you know, I look at her experience, I'm like, man, she really like grew my mindset into what I need. I know I need in the future. Feel me?
No, I feel you. So obviously, what caused the fumble?
Be honest, bro. I feel like I was immature, dog. Like, I ain't.
Mm.
I mean, I can make an excuse and be like, oh, I was 21, 22. But at the end of the day, like, that's on me. Like, I can't blame nothing but me, my lack of immaturity, my lack of realizing what I had. I was making excuses. Maybe there was some traumas. Like, at the time I was like, well, I've never seen a healthy relationship. Like I'm 21. Like
Mm.
everybody in my family has never, has always screwed it up. Like I'm gonna do the same. Like I'm in my own head. You know, it's on me. I can't really make no excuses for it. But I dropped the football. I dropped the game winning touchdown. So it is
No,
what
that's
it
fair.
is.
I respect that. I respect that, and by grace of God, the Lord knows how to always bring things back around. So I respect that. So obviously, like you said, obviously, you mentioned obviously having even a bit of trauma, like you ain't really never seen no positive relationships. Give us a bit more insight into that. What was that like? You mean you said that you haven't really seen healthy relationships. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, so at that time, 21, I had no reference of like a healthy relationship. Like 21, my grandma, the only person that was married in my whole entire family at the time was my grandma and granddad. They had
Okay.
been together since forever, right? My mom's dad and mom. And their relationship was definitely is it was like they was just together. I don't know. Maybe they ain't want to break up. I don't know. Maybe my granddaddy was like, it's cheaper to keep. I don't know, but um, I mean that was my only reference. So I didn't find or I didn't experience like true healthy relationships until I got into the church. At 21 ish, 2011, I started being more involved in church, and then that's when I started to see like those positive male role models like in the church. Serving, leading. I was kind of discipled by like certain men, and I saw how they led their families, and that kind of like inspired a young black me. Right, I'm 21, 22. Like, man, I want to be like that one day. Like, I want to be able to balance, business life, family life, still be there for my kids. Like, just seeing these men, like, being at church 6 days a week, being at all their kids' soccer games. I'm like, how these dudes do that? And that was kind of
Mm.
like my first introduction into, like, what a positive or a healthy marriage or relationship looked like. And I didn't really experience that till like around 22.
So what was that like for you then? Having now experienced a more positive, healthier outlook on relationships. What did that do to you, and how did that change your outlook on relationships?
Um, I mean, I think at the time it changed it tremendously. Because before that, I just went off of what I assumed, right? You growing up in the black community in the neighborhood, they call it the hood, but I call it the neighborhood. And you see what you see with the dope boys, big time dope boys, the strippers, whatever the case may be. You just see what you see, and your mindset kind of gets warped into thinking like, if you ain't got no money, if you ain't selling no drugs, you feel me? If you ain't got no car, I'm from Florida, so you know what I'm saying? It's a little different from the UK, it's a little different from other places in the country. But where I'm from, if you ain't had no car sitting on 26, well at the time it was 20s. We ain't 26s ain't come to way later. But if you weren't sitting on dubs, like you feel me, you wasn't nothing. So, you felt at least, as an adolescent, you thought that the epitome of dating was to only be a provider. You didn't have no knowledge of like being a spiritual leader and all that. It was just like if you got that bag, you know what I'm saying? That's all you need. Like you just gotta have that
Mm.
bag up. You can get any girl you want. Like if you got money, you know what I'm saying? You got rank in these streets, people respect you, you a shooter, whatever the case may be. It's just like what it was. So like transitioning like to a more healthy thinking as I like, as rather should I say the God discovered me, because I don't want to make it seem like I found God, or rather, as I started to get on that journey when my homeboy passed away, that's when I started to get into more of a more healthier mindset and outlook on what like relationships dating actually meant outside of just, oh, I got a bad, whoop whoop, be with me. You feel me?
I get you. I actually do. No, it's giving some better understanding. Okay, so obviously for you, like discipleship was pivotal. I guess obviously talking about discipleship and obviously the understanding of how the streets raise somebody versus how when you have discipleship, there's a big difference in the way that we're trained. Now, obviously, you said you grew up with your mum, but your father was elsewhere. I mean, it's always interesting because we always ask people as well about their relationship with their parents because that's obviously a big factor in terms of how we see relationships as well. Did you get in your childhood? Did you get to spend much time with your father? What was that like? If you could maybe give us a bit more insight into You know, because obviously father and son relationships are vital. I'm myself a son to a father, so I know how it's impacted me in terms of having my father present, but maybe not as emotionally present. I know how that affected me. So, for you personally, obviously, how what was the relationship like with you and your father?
Yeah, so like, in all honesty, like my dad was in federal prison, so my
Okay.
dad got caught on a RICO charge. You feel me? Back in the early '90s, him and a lot of the kids that I grew up with, all of our dads went to the feds off of a big drug case back in
Mm.
Florida back then. So, my dad was locked up in federal prison, and he didn't get out till I was like, what, like 12, 13.
Okay.
So my father, for real, was like the dope boys in the hood. Like, people who respected my dad in the streets. You know, neighborhood dudes that stayed across from us. It takes a village to raise a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had uncles, I had cousins that kind of stepped into that role of, and they in their mind, right? This is what manhood is about. Like, you got to be tough.
Mm.
Can't let nobody you. You gotta know how to fight. You gotta get girls. You gotta play football. We gonna put you on that football field. And I had a decent talent. I played college ball, but that's kind of like was the only sense of fatherhood I had growing up because my daddy
Mm-hmm.
was locked up and he got out. I was like 13, and he wasn't really much of a father figure, going forward. So it was like I had to really like raise myself growing up. I had to figure it out, get my own school clothes. I just had to get it out the mud. That's just what it was. Like nobody taught me anything. I literally like had to learn everything on my own. I just figured it out. But as I alluded earlier, the pivotal moment for me that caused that change in my mind was around 2011 when my homeboy passed. November 21st, 2011, when my homeboy passed. Going into the end of that year, going into 2012, that kind of like put me in a position which I had to like seek God, and then seeking God, I kind of went on that journey into discovering myself. And then fast forward, 2024. That's what 14 years. Like, time be flying, but 14 years later, you know, another 12 years. I'm tripping. My math off. 12 years later, um, I just developed into where I am today, and I'm still growing and learning. Learn stuff about myself every day.
So in a sense, you actually had to, from a masculine perspective, you had to raise yourself in a sense, right? From the father perspective, you had to almost raise yourself in a sense, kind of be your own parent in one half of the respect, because obviously your father wasn't necessarily there as such, which can be very difficult as well. How do you think that affected you then, growing up? Then, how do you think that affected your mindset? Because I know you had to raise yourself, but how do you feel that's affected you in terms of how you see relationships? I know you said it's unhealthy that you see it in certain ways, but do you see the impact of not having that input in some of your relationships? I know you had discipleship as well, but just want to understand.
Yeah, I think the disconnect. I think a large part of my brain for so long was like seeing things the way that I saw it, right? Up till I got discipleship. Well, men in my life that just like kind of like grabbed me, kind of put me in the headlock, gave me like a little nugget wuggy and like, hey, young man, you gotta do it this way. This is how we do things. And I'm still learning, I ain't above reproach. You feel me? But um I think that I just like, I just really had to break out of that mindset. And I'm still like in certain aspects. I feel like there's residue. I think we all on this thing, on this journey, we learning about ourselves, we growing. We trying to get to that next level, whether it's in business, whether it's spiritually, whether it's relationally. I don't think anyone has arrived in any particular area of life. But I think for me, like, you know, it wasn't for those men that came and grabbed me at the time they did, 2012, 2011. I don't think I would be 10% of the man I am today, and I'm still growing and learning. I had to raise myself, so like it is what it was. I ain't really had no childhood per se, because I had to like be a man. Like it wasn't no time to cry and oh, woe is me. Like your daddy gone, your daddy in prison, so it's like it's either you gonna get down or lay down. That just was my mindset growing up. Like I gotta go get me some money. Like I ain't got time to sit here and be sorry for nobody or for myself. And I think that it kind of had some kind of negative impact on how I dated because in certain regards, especially when you're dealing with a woman, right?
Mm.
You have to have sensitivity and empathy. And you know, a lot of women they can attest to this. Like when you dating a hood Negro, like a dude in the streets, it's like it's a little different than dating a dude who wasn't in the streets. So like I know for me, I'm learning to be more softer in my approach with everybody. Like, you know, I know me, I'm a little you know, hey, I said what I said, like I ain't scared of nobody. What you gonna do? You gonna check me? What's happening? Like that's just me. But I've grown a lot in regards of when you're dealing with a woman, when you're in a relationship, you gotta be soft with a woman. You can't talk to her like how you would talk to a dude in the streets or to a man. And I think I've had some negative impacts in that mindset in my dating. And I will, you gotta kind of be a little bit more softer with her. Like she can't handle that. Like she can't handle what maybe you can handle. Like you can't say that. Maybe you should have said it that way. You know, in Florida, we talk different. Like how we talk to Floridians, we talk how we talk. Just like if somebody was from, you know, St. Louis, New York, you feel me, Georgia, everybody, your culture is your culture. Even where you from in the UK, right? Like
Mm.
y'all got y'all own ways in which y'all deal with
Lingo.
people. Your lingo that if you came to the US and did that or said that, it would be like, what? I know you ain't talking to me. Like, might come off as disrespectful, right? So I know I'm learning and growing through that.
I respect that. And that makes sense. I mean, listen, hey, in UK we have our own slang and own lingo, and different areas have their own accents that play a role in how they speak in certain language and certain terms. So I do understand that, and I appreciate that you sharing that as well. It's giving me a bit more insight. I guess the final question in this kind of aspect, in terms of kind of get you understanding a bit more, is, like I said, you didn't grow up with your father, but obviously your mum was there as well. So, um, with obviously your mother, like what was that relationship like? Because that's always an interesting one. Because obviously mothers tend to stay, the fathers tend not to be there, and then that's always interesting because there are different ways that there's different ways that as young men we interpret our relationship with our fathers as well, our mothers. Sorry, like I know my mum comes from schizophrenia, so what I mean, that makes it a bit more difficult relationship sometimes. So, for you, obviously, what was the relationship like for you, and what has it taught you as well about yourself? I guess about you in a sense.
My relationship come on with my mother.
Yeah.
For me, I had to learn to give my mom a lot of grace, right?
Mm.
Because my mom had me when she was 14, 15. Like my mama had me young. Like she was a young mom. Like, and as I grew older and started to really sit down and think about the sacrifice that she made to be able to have me, right? She's in the 10th grade. She didn't finish her high school diploma. Gave up her dreams of probably going to college, get married. I don't know whatever her dreams were, right? Um, and she decided she could have easily went to the abortion clinic and got rid of me. You know, we on Section 8, like we in the hood. So she made a huge sacrifice and a huge conscious decision as a young child to have a child. A lot of times growing up, I was a little like kind of like a little angry, like dang, like why y'all, why is this our situation? Like what
Mm.
they at, woo woo, which I think a lot of young black men growing up in those environments go through. And I kind of like blame my mom a little bit, but I think that as I grew older in wisdom, spiritually, mentally, financially, and started to like be a mentor, right? Going into these neighborhoods, mentoring these kids, I started to have a lot more empathy and sympathy, like not only for single moms, but like for my mom, like dang, like she was a baby raising a baby, like she 14, 15, like she don't know nothing about nothing really, so you can't really blame her for the parenting decision that she made because she did the best she knew how to do at that particular mindset and age. So so now me and my mom we good. Like, I love my mama. Like, she, like Tupac, dear mama, y'all appreciate it. So
No, I heard that, man, and like, and I love the way that you reasoned. I love the way you reasoned. The fact that obviously when you're younger, you might have felt some type of way, of course, because you're growing up in a particular situation. But as you grew older, you kind of, and as you become a mentor, you kind of understood the difficulties behind being in the environment that you grew up in. The decisions that we make as youngsters sometimes can make lifelong decisions. You know what I mean? So, I appreciate the fact that you're able to even kind of see that angle, and see another perspective as well. So obviously for you then, you like I said, Mr. Millionaire, yeah. What takes a millionaire then onto Ready to Love? Because that is not a place for millionaires. Someone would say that's not a place for millionaires. So why go on Ready to Love?
to be honest with you, bro, I honestly did not know what to expect. Like, I hadn't really watched the show like that. Like, even today, like I did not know that show was as popular as it is. Like, I be walking around, literally, I was in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta just chilling. Oh, you Will from Ready to Love? I'm like, huh? You know who I am? I'm like, kind of throw. Like, I had no idea. I didn't have any expectations of the show. How they, of course, how like they sell it in production, right? They're like, oh, it's like this, like that. You can meet this, you that, and then you get on the show, you like, man, what the hell this is? But no shade, anything, anybody, but I went into it with an open mind, like that. Hey, I don't know, I really don't know what to expect. I think the element of surprise of not really knowing what you're getting yourself into or what's behind that door, because I'm
Mm,
a risk taker, right? You got to be a risk taker in business, and especially if you want to make a lot of money. So, at the time, you know, I thought it was a risk worth taking. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Like, I don't hold no regrets of it. Um, I think I wouldn't call it a regret, but the only thing that I wish I would have did differently, I wish I would have prayed about it some more. That's my only regret. I wish I would have did that. Um, and also I was dating a young lady at the time. We was kicking it. We was like going strong. We was figuring out where we wanted to go. And we wasn't in a relationship, but at that same time too, I wish I would have paid more attention into watering her flower beds, right? Because that could have been a real deal situation had I paid more attention and prayed more about going on the show. I would have spent more time into like what me and her could have been. So I don't know, bro. Like, I honestly didn't know what I was getting myself into. I really did not know that show was as popular as it was. I didn't think people was gonna be stopping you in Target. Like, oh, I seen you on TV. I don't even post it on my Instagram. Obviously I don't care about nothing about no fame because I ain't out here, trying to let people, trying to let the world know. But I'm doing this interview, but outside of that, this is my first actual interview. Like, no one can say that they interviewed me, right? Besides you. So, you know, honestly didn't know what to expect, bro. Like, I don't know.
it is what it is. So obviously, you get on the show. It's not what you thought it would be. Now, obviously, you mentioned that you had was seeing someone at the time. So someone might ask, did you guys call it off before you went into Ready to Laugh, or was it just were you hoping that you were going to come back to this relationship? Because
Your phone,
hmm? Oh,
hold on,
right, did I break
your
up?
phone,
Sorry,
it's
I was saying obviously you got on before you got onto the obviously you told us you were seeing someone. So did you have to break off that relationship before getting onto Ready to Love, or were you hoping that you would come back to that relationship? Like, because that if that relationship was going somewhere, then essentially you had what you wanted. Like, you didn't need to go on to Ready to Love. You know what I'm saying to you? It's just an observation of what you just said.
Yeah. So like, if you know anything about the process, like they literally like court you, right? Like the show, they court you for months
Yeah.
before you even do it, right? So they had been hitting me up about the show well before me and her like started conversing on the phone, right? So me and Shawty was conversing well later into the process, in which you can give them a yes or no on whether you're gonna do it or not. So, at the time, me and Shawty wasn't locked in. We wasn't like in a relationship per se. We was talking heavy, we was talking strong. I was trying to figure things out. I didn't really know if I wanted to commit to her. She didn't really know she really wanted to commit to me. But I think in hindsight, 2020, right, when you look back over life, you're like, maybe I should have gave that more of a whoop de whoop or da da da, just in, what's the word? Just in, when you go back in reflection, yeah.
Mm.
So, if anybody knows, a lot of people don't notice that's, that are viewers of the show. A lot of the stuff we recorded that stuff way back in May of last year, like April, May of
Yeah.
last year. This is like a year ago. It's about to be May again. So this show
Mm.
was recorded a long time ago. Like this did not happen recently. So, you know, it's a long drawn out process. Like they started doing their casting like what, 2022. You know what I'm saying? And the show just aired January of 2024. What, January 12th was the first episode? So it's a long drawn process. So our reflection time just like, I'm like, dang. Sometimes you grasp other side, and you go open that door, you like, oh hell no, you like, but it is what it is.
Mm. I think your internet is going off again. Hold on. The internet's
You
just going off
need
a
to
little
say it
bit.
again. Say it. Hold on, let me pick my phone.
I think it's just the last part of it, but I think it was
Hold on, let
just.
me.
Are we back?
I think so. Oh yeah. Oh, I see it. I see it. Hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all good? Y'all good?
Yep. Well, let's see. I think we can see you now. Let's just. Yeah, we can see it. I see your hand. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just making
Let's see
sure.
if this all feels.
Yeah, it looks
It'll probably
a little
come back in a
blurry.
second. It'll probably come back in a second. Okay. Yes, it's returning. It's returning a little bit. Take a little second. Um.
Yeah, I don't know what's up
Okay.
with my internet, man.
Yeah.
AT and T,
Everything is
y'all
nice.
days is numbered.
It'd be like that. Um. So you said. Oh, sorry. I think so. You missed out. So. So you're saying obviously that the relationship. Sorry, the relationship, but you go obviously. It takes a long time for the process to take place. Everything like that. Okay. So did you get to discuss with old girl that you know what you gonna be out on the show?
Yeah, me and her, we had a conversation. That's why, like, we kind of what we had. Me and Shawty, I said, hey, I'm about to do, I do a TV show. I know we kicking it or whatever. We have our lives, what we want to do. We talking, we lounging, whatever the case may be, whatever the young folks say. You know, of course, she didn't like it. She was like, oh, what you mean? Like, you from the hoop, da, da, da. I'm like, look at the end of the day. As you're exploring your options, I'm gonna do the same. Because today I want what's best for me, I want what's best for you. So of course, like I don't think any woman that's into you wants to hear something like that. Especially if they want you to commit or they want to be with you or y'all still figuring out what y'all gonna do. So of course, it didn't like necessarily go over well with her, but it is what it was at that time. Like me and her had just started talking, so I'm like, I'm not gonna commit my life to somebody that I don't even know if I want to be with. We ain't even like 3 months in. So that's just what it
Mm.
was.
Okay, cool. So obviously on Ready to Love, you get on there. Like I said, it wasn't what you necessarily expected. What were you expecting then? What was you expecting when you got? Because you said it wasn't what you necessarily what you expected. So what was you actually expecting?
I think like how production, how they sell it, they gonna sell you a dream, but they could sell water to a well. So they had you thinking like, oh, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. Oh my gosh, you're perfect. They gotta sell what they gotta sell to get their ratings, right? They typecast, right? That's like common sense for a viewer. I'm trying to teach y'all how this works. They typecast and they know what it is they looking for TV. They know what's good for TV. They know what's good for ratings, and they're looking for that perfect prototype to fit whatever it is they feel like they need to get where they going. So they gonna sell a dream. So and in selling that dream, I ain't gonna lie. You feel me? I bought the car for more than what it was worth. We've all done that. So I'm not here to blame them because at the end of the day, I should have spent more time praying. That's on me. I should have been more discerning of what I was getting myself into. I went into it with an open mind, and it just, you know, it was. I mean, I don't regret it. I learned a lot about that side of life, right? That side of business. I'm an avid learner of life. I learned a lot about myself and areas I could work on. I learned too. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, somebody say something to me I don't like, I still got that street in me. Like, I'm ready to throw it the two piece. You feel me? Like, I just know me. So I learned a lot about myself. And it taught me a valuable lesson. Like, okay, you got some, you gotta, you can't allow, lies or whatever the case may be to get to you. You gotta stand on your business. You gotta stand on your principle. You can't allow other people to get you off track. The little drama that comes with reality TV, how they do stuff behind the scenes. A lot of people don't understand the stuff behind the scenes, and how editing works. Production, all that. Like, people don't understand that. Like, it's TV. It ain't what people think it is. Like, some of that stuff is real, but a lot of it is mixed up to tell a storyline. You feel me? So it's
So
just what it
so
is.
how do they typecast you? What roles did they got you to play?
So initially, I was led to believe that I was like the R&B thug, right? Like R&B music, because a large part of my filming process was, you know, it had a lot to do with that. But when you actually watch it, just like everybody else who's watching it, right? Like you yourself and the world, it wasn't nothing like what it was assumed to be. So, you know, essentially they typecasted me as like this is how I perceive it. I don't know how other people perceive it. I can't speak for the general public. But how I saw it was, in the beginning was like, oh, it came off to me like the freaky pastor. Like, no, I ain't what's name was way more freaky. I ain't gonna lie, they did Lamar bad. They did him real bad. I was like, oh my lord. And then they did Lonzo bad too. But you know, I started to realize like, okay, these people trying to sell a show. These people trying to get their viewers ratings up. They'll do anything for clout, for views. Oh, I see what this is. I see what's going on. All right, whatever. Bet. You know what I'm saying? It is what it was.
So when did you clock that whilst on the show? And if you clocked that whilst on the show, how did that affect your behavior?
I think I caught it in like more so like probably like the reunion. That was the first time that everybody is introduced to how they chopped up scenes. No one had
Okay.
ever seen a scene before that. And the first time you seeing a scene is at the reunion. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how they built the storyline, right? Because you're not there with everybody else, right? You don't know who's going on. You're not there with other people going on dates. So you don't know none of this stuff. And you don't know how they're gonna tie all this stuff in together. You feel me?
Mm.
So for me, that was the first time I knew about a lot of stuff. I'm like, huh? What? Water chicken went well, why? So like, and then when I saw it, I was like, oh man, I see what this gonna be. They they with the woo woo, they with the drama, they with the creating this false narrative storyline, and I don't know. It's just you don't really figure it out until you get to reunion. That how they gonna try to sell the season. You feel me?
I feel you. Okay, so obviously when you got into the show, who was your first love interest? Like I say, love interest. Who was your first interest? Who like caught your eye? Who was the first person you were like? You know what? That one's a baddie for me still.
So they broke it up, right? So we only seen one set of girls. So if you
Yes.
watch the first episode, I didn't even know it was another set of girls. I don't think
Hmm.
none of us knew the dudes, right? And I'm assuming the ladies didn't know either. So we get there and it's only like what was it, 4 ladies, 5 ladies, whatever. And I look, and then I didn't necessarily like right off the bat was like, oh, this the one. You feel me? But and talking to the ladies, of course, like Alexis was like the one that I felt like, okay, she ain't got no kids, she more my speed. Maybe not my first choice in the real world, right? If I was walking around Dallas, maybe not so much. And she could probably say the same thing. I don't know how she think. I just know how I think. But she was cool. Like from a TV perspective, if you had to have a TV boo, cause like to be honest with you, this thing is acting like it ain't like how people really think it is. You really gotta you really finding a TV boo and you hey y'all gonna make it work because in the real world the man plans the date, right? It's the man that plans the date. Like ain't no TV and all that junk. So to be it felt like jail. Like they tell you where to be, when to be, what time you gotta be there, when to wake up. You know what I'm saying? You showing up somewhere, you don't know who the hell you gonna be on a date with. So it's just what it is. So for me, Alexis was like the one that I shared the most common interest with. We had better dialogue. We just, she ain't had no kids. I ain't had no kids. She was in her career. I was in my career. We just shared a lot more in common. The other ladies, not so much because me personally, no, not the single moms. Like I come from a single mom, but me personally, my standard is I don't desire to be a stepdad. That's just what it is for me. And can't nobody tell me what I should want, what I should want. So for me, that's just not my cup of tea. But I would be open to it. Maybe if a woman had one kid, maybe I got to know her. She was my home girl. I'm like, dang, you know what? She's a good mom. She's a good person. She's a woman of God. All the things. All right, boom, I date her, right? But when I was on that show, once I seen what it was, I was like, yeah, Alexis, she cool. That's more my speed. No kids. I ain't got no kids. All right, I'll rap with her. And as I stated, like in the real world, the man plans the dates. On TV, you show up when somebody tell you to show up. So it's just whatever, right?
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So obviously, like I said, the real world, the man plays a date. So for you personally, dating a mother of kids is not your personal preference, which is fair. I think that's actually a fair
Yeah.
deduction. I don't think that's anything wrong with that at all. To have that particular perspective, I don't think you're the only one on the show who had that kind of thought process. So it's not abnormal. Um, so obviously for you then, Alexis would have been probably the coolest one, but also like you said there was a second group of women that came along. Did you was there anyone in the second group that you kind of tickled your fancy a little bit?
Second group, not so much. Here's
No.
why. I'm
Oh,
gonna tell you why.
tell me why.
Because I knew two of the ladies, right, already. I live in Dallas.
Oh
I
yeah,
think I'm
cool.
quite
Yeah.
popular. Like people, everybody from real estate, everybody know who I am. Like I ain't some lame dude. Don't nobody know. Like people know who I am. Like in my field, in my craft, I'm a top dog. So
Mm.
you know, I already had known Leyland. She's kind of in real estate a little bit. We got mutual friends. So when I saw
Fair.
her, yeah, I didn't look at her like, oh my God, it's a beautiful lady. I looked at it like, man, I know her. Like, we actually know each other. So like, I never had a romantic interest in her. I thought she a cool chick. Like, she's definitely gorgeous. But when I saw her, it wasn't like I felt like
Yeah.
maybe if I didn't
Mm.
know her, it would have been a
Yeah.
different effect. Because at first it was an element of surprise. So when I saw the second group of ladies and I saw two people I knew, I'm like, what? I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm gonna see anybody else but them. So, like I said, I already knew Leyland. I don't know Rashina like that, but I had met Rashina before.
Oh, okay.
So
How you meet
yeah,
her?
I met her. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was saying, how did you meet her?
Oh, like I was out to brunch with one of my homeboys, and then they was sitting at the table by us, and then You know how girls be, they be, oh, you who, oh, y'all some nice looking young man, da 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 da, like that type of vibe. And you know, I ain't never take on no date or nothing. We ain't never like ex- exchange no real phone numbers. She was my IG friend, and that's just what the extent of it. Like, I met her, I knew who she was from IG. It wasn't, we ain't never hang out. Like, me and Laylan, I actually knew Laylan. Like, we got some of the same like acquaintances. Like, I actually, if I see her, hey, how you doing? Give you a hug, keep it moving. Like, hey, I got this event. You want to come to it? She'll hit me. I got this event. Whoop de whoop. So it was like we already had a cordial relationship. We knew each other.
So what happened with Rashina? Why didn't they go any further? Because obviously, what do woo. Let's be real. Y'all. There might have been. I don't know. There might have been a little bit of attraction there. So, what happened? Will
Look, man, bro, that's TV, bro. TV fake, bro. Like, man, I just stand on my principle. Like, I ain't trying to. My
outside of
preference is
TV, I'm
not,
saying.
huh?
Oh, you got okay. You got a preference.
Yeah,
What's
my
what's
preference.
what's?
I prefer not to be a stepdad, and I ain't. What I'm
I
gonna
get
do?
you. I get you.
Like, well, I
I get you.
can't do nothing with that. Like, she looking for a man to,
Mm.
you know. I don't really know. I really don't know what she was looking for, but I know I ain't that guy. And she cool people, but I just know what I want and what I don't want, and I'm pretty sure she know the same thing. So what I'm supposed to do, like force a connection, force a vibe. Now on TV, like, cause how the game works, bro, it's really a game. So you feel me? Like how it works is you gotta kind of like low key be fake, act like you like somebody if you want to stay on.
I
But
hear
for
it.
me, if anybody actually watched the show, y'all could tell Will is not interested to be here. He only be trying to
Okay.
talk to one girl, Alexis. I don't even want to go on a date with these other girls like that because in the real world, I
It's not
just
going nowhere.
wouldn't, I wouldn't be interested. Like, I don't want to be a stepfather, so it ain't no knock against them. It's just I'm just here so that I don't get fined. I'm just here for TV. Like, not, when I say here for TV, I'm just here to,
You just have to
like I
follow the
said,
contract.
fulfill your contract. Like, they tell you where you gotta be. You don't even know what date you going on. That's what people be fooled in these comments and stuff. Like, they tell you, hey, today, 3 o'clock, this location. You get there, you look up, it's this person. You like, that ain't even my connection. All right, cool. Lights, camera, action. Take one. So, um,
So aside Lexus,
yeah,
no one else.
nah, nobody else. Lexus really.
No one else.
Lexus was cool. Like, Lexus, me and her, we cool. We was cool. Like, I ain't
No
got
one
nothing.
else.
No one else. Like,
Really? You, you,
I
yeah.
really,
Not even.
nah.
Not even. Someone said, "What about even Maya? Not even Maya. She was no kids as well. Beautiful lady.
I never really talked to her. Like, I can't really, me and her ain't never really like lock in or talk like that. So I can't really give an
Why?
opinion on somebody I never really talked to.
Why did you guys never really
Uh,
talk?
I don't really know, bro. Like, I mean, I don't. Maybe we just wasn't each other's type. I don't really know. It's just like I never really got that time to really like spend time or talk to the girl. So I don't really like. I can't really like force something, especially like they trying to make you date 10 people at once. There's only so much phone time you can give to all these chicks. And me, I'm busy in real life. Like, I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a multi-million-dollar company. I ain't got time to be on the phone trying to talk to 10 girls every night so that I don't get eliminated. Man, I said, look, man, look, I'm only interested in being cool with Alexis. She cool people. We got a vibe. I ain't interested in nobody else. So I'm not gonna try to fake this jump for TV too much to where, like, as you can see other people, some people really want to be on TV. So I'm gonna let y'all fill in the clues. I ain't really even gotta bring nobody down like that. Y'all know what it is. So me, I was like, man, Lex is cool. That's my TV work wife. So that's just what it is. She cool people. We got good chemistry. We can talk, have great conversations on or off camera. I don't have time to be sitting up here. I mean, of course, in the beginning, like when you walk in, of course, all the dudes from the first mixer, they saw Mika with the big booty. And they was like, damn, like on Friday, like, damn. But outside of that, that was it. Like, dudes like, oh, okay, okay. And then you talk to her, and then she was like, I got my tools tied. I got two kids, two fathers. And for me, I ain't talking bad against her. I ain't trying
I
to
know,
down her.
it's just not your
But
thing.
it just for me, like, oh, what I'm gonna do with that? What are those? Who, when, where, why, who, water, chicken? What I'm supposed to do? So for me, it just was no interest. Like, she cool. She at the time she was cool. Then of course, like if you watch the show, it was whole lot of unnecessary. Well, how can I say it? Produced drama. Like I'm gonna call it that. However you want to swing it. It's kind of like Squid Games. People being led to believe stuff that ain't true, and they take on what's the word? They take on perspectives that when they actually watch the show and see it through, they be like, "Damn, I was lied to." It wouldn't really like that in real life. This is really what happened, and then that's just what it is. You feel me?
Mm. So, of course, you didn't have to talk to all 10 women, but at least Maya and Alexis both didn't have kids. So, Maya could have been something you could have put a bit more effort into, but I understand.
I ain't
Um,
get it. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't get enough time to really like, pursue it like that. I ain't
how
at
come
that
you didn't have
time
time?
when I saw her for the first time.
Mm,
Yeah. So when I first saw her was at the second mixer.
mm-hmm.
So from a recording aspect, we was already like a week and a half. Dang near, I don't know. We was way into it. So the first time I saw her was at the on TV, right? Was at the second mixer. So by the time like, and then of course like you got 30 other dudes trying to get her time too. So previous to that, me and Alexis had already had great rapport. We was already cool. We was already solid and rocking. We were cool. So we get to the other mixer. Now of course like Alexis moving around doing her thing. But me, I'm like, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't want to be here. I'm like, man, I got stuff going on. My phone blowing up. People calling me from my business, like, oh, we got this going on. I had a large project going on at that time. The same house that's on my Instagram. I had a house that I now have on the market right now for 1.6 million. But I was building that house at the time. I just had too much going on to really like focus on all the other chicks that I knew I wasn't really trying to have no future with. So I never really got that chance to really honestly like shoot a serious shot at Amaya. Like I don't know. I ain't really interested in like really taking it there. So
Okay, that. Okay. So, that couldn't work for you because obviously, like I said, you had a lot of you didn't have as much time on your hands. Okay, so we saw obviously an interesting scene yourself and Koshia. You guys kind of get into it. I wanna hear the bigger picture because we got to see what we saw. It sounded a little bit like you kind of. It felt like well, some people might feel like you disrespected her in that moment, but I want to know what you heard that made you respond the way you responded.
yeah, so like I said, man, it's produced TV. So they only gonna show bits and clips to get a reaction, right? So
Hmm.
as I stated, like I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I don't know, like that clip was probably the most viral clip in Ready to Love history. I just call it what it is. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't, right? So of course they knew what they was doing to get that type of reaction, right? And it was taken way out of context. That wasn't the totality of the conversation that me and this girl had. Now we was talking about all type of stuff. So and in that conversation, you know, I'm like, oh, so how didn't you know? She was like, well, I really didn't know. Maybe I should have did a better job of, vetting him, da da da. And I'm like, and then of course they heard me say like how? Like was the diggling that good? That's what y'all heard. But y'all didn't hear everything that happened before that. So like at the end of the day, I stand on what I said because in Florida, we very straightforward. We don't got time for nonsense and fluff and puff. Like we don't do that pump faking and booty shaking, you feel me? So when she was like, "Oh, I didn't know," I'm like scratching my head, like, okay, like how, like you didn't dig deeper into knowing who this man was, and then she started saying like how she met the dude. I'm like, well, dang, in my mind, you should have known that, like how. If you met him like that, like I was confused, like how? So, granted, it probably didn't come off the best to her. Maybe she was offended, but me and her never really had that chance after that to really talk more in detail because I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't interested. I'm gonna be honest with you. When she was like she had 2 kids, 2 baby daddies, choo, I'm like, what I'm gonna do? What they say, to the left, everything you own in a box to the left. Hey, I had already redirected myself somewhere else. So now I could have said that a little more, bit more nicer, but I wasn't interested. I moved on. I said, well, what I'm supposed to do? What do you want me to do? You want me to? Yeah, I could have presented what I said to her a little nicer, but like I said, produce TV, they only show what they know is gonna get the ratings. And that clip on their Instagram page got over 1 million views. So they make and how this thing works. So let's just talk about the business side of this thing, right? So on that show, you don't really get paid a lot. So like for me, I'm not gonna be around here parading like some movie star, knowing I got paid peanuts. Like, here, you got paid. We got paid less than the actors on Friday. Y'all know what they got paid. So how you around here acting like you a movie star? You know, trying to make it seem like you some big stuff when you ain't got no money. Some people ain't got. I don't know what people got. I ain't gonna speak on other people's pockets. I know what I got, but I'm not fun to be around here acting like posting on my Instagram like, oh yeah, y'all seen my clip? I had 1 million views. Y'all see what I said? Ha ha ha. I'm a businessman. I'm not going to, when I know I got paid peanuts, continue to perpetuate y'all's clip and help y'all to monetize if y'all not doing the same in return for me. So for me, I saw that, I laughed at it. I said, I see what they trying to do. That's not the whole entire story. That's not what happened. We said a lot more stuff than that. But whatever, y'all can have that. You know, y'all want y'all little viral moment because every clip after that wasn't nothing like that. Didn't have nowhere near as much comments. This is the truth, right? That much engagement. That was the most engaging comment post y'all gonna ever have. Cool. I'm gonna let y'all have that. I don't want no parts of trying to make it seem like I'm some reality TV star. You feel me? I got bigger fish to fry, so I got work on my business. I got other stuff to do, so I kind of let it be that.
So obviously, I mean, looking back on it now, do you see how that maybe she could have taken offense to what you said? It was a little bit direct, wasn't it? A little bit direct. Do you feel like?
Yeah, yeah. I'm from Florida. We real direct. And anybody that know people from Florida, New York, I'm pretty sure that there are other direct states, but universally, people from New York and people from Florida, we say what we say. Like, and I stand on what I said. Like, how the heck could you be so dumb? Like, it is what it is. Now, people can argue with their mama in the comments, but that's how I felt. Now, do I agree that maybe I could have had a little bit more empathy? Dating back to what I said earlier, like I'm from the hood, I'm from the streets. Like, we say what we say. We move on. We don't really be thinking too much about it in that moment. But in reflection, maybe I could have said that a little bit differently. And that's me being a real one and saying, okay, I could have been a little bit more nice in that delivery, but I didn't. So hey, I learned from that, I grew from that, and I said, hey, you know what? You could have been a little bit more kinder. And in that moment, maybe I wasn't.
Did you manage to apologize to Kashia after that, or you didn't?
What I did in that moment on the episode, I was like, I'm sorry. And I clearly said I was sorry on the episode. But of course, she gonna take it how she took it, and from there, in my mind, I didn't want to pursue any type of connection with
Relationship.
her. I didn't really even care. So she cared a lot more than I did about it. Rightfully so, maybe rightfully not. So I don't know. But I didn't really care, but she did, and that's why like probably a lot of the little stuff that happened was because of she got mad because I said what I said. What you want me to do about it? She could have hit me up offline, but she didn't. So it is what it was.
Hmm. Uh, I mean, obviously, is that why you plan to get her off the show, or?
Nah, that wasn't why, bro. Really, what it was, I never planned to get her off the show. Like, so we
Mm,
take that a step back, right?
okay.
She just wasn't my connection. So if they asked me in the lounge, this is how it actually works, right? They ask you, who are you most connected to? Who are you least connected to? Simple question. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm most connected to this person. I'm least connected to that person. And then maybe Tommy will ask you, is there anybody else? You want me to tell a lie? You want me to make up some other body name? You want me to say, like, oh yeah, I'm least connected to Maya. I ain't never talked to Maya. But I can tell you who I am least connected to. So that's that. You know, hey, there were other things like if you look at those like the actual like proof and data, there were like times in production in which like we was producing something and her and Mika they had seen some tall dudes walk by, which is in those text messages, and they was like, oh, basically being thirsty trying to get chose. So I found that to be disrespectful. And this is like off camera, right? So I was like, yeah, that ain't my connection. So in that lounge, after that, subsequent to that, this is who I'm voting for. Now, Cole didn't get off until way later, until like that pool party. You feel me? So, at that time, you know, oh, so at that time, we had like a little man group chat, right? That was started by what you got all that data. I'm pretty sure you'll get to it at some point if you desire to. But at that time in the group chat, it had already been long discussed, and it was only three other dudes besides myself in that group chat. It wasn't no group chat with me and the rest of the guys. Those guys went into it because we didn't meet those guys until much later on in the filming process, right? At that point, we hadn't met Chaz, Alonzo, Lamar, Jonathan. It was somebody else, and well, Justin came way later, so he don't count. He came way after the fact as a wild card. So the only men that were in that group was me, William, LaRon, and Dominique. And the group chat was started by who was started by, and it was started by LaRon. And in that group
Oh,
chat,
LeBron started the
bro,
group chat.
yes, he started the group chat. So in that group chat, bro literally said, you can pull up. I sent you everything. The dude literally said verbatim, I understand if y'all want to vote Cole off. He was like, Mika will be my preference, but I understand if y'all want Cole to go. It's okay with me.
So
So
wait,
for this man to get
you're saying that Laurent was saying that he was okay with you
no,
voting
not that
off
he wasn't saying
Koish.
saying to everybody else in the group. He wasn't speaking to me directly. He was saying it to me. He was saying it to the fellas, the other three gentlemen that was in the group,
That he
including
don't
myself. So
mind.
four. Well, we'll say two because you can't. He can't. I guess he was talking to himself, but he was saying to everybody in the group that he didn't mind. That's in verbatim. So when the man came out of nowhere, because I think the man a little touched mentally. So when the man came out talking about some they had a conspiracy to get Cole off the show, the rest of us looking like this dude is crazy. Don't this man know he in a group chat talking about all these girls, same girls that he's sending the screenshots from the group to? He's talking about all of them. So we was like confused on like how, what's wrong with this man? Like, how could you literally sit up here and say that, oh, you didn't want to be no stepdad? This is what the man said. He didn't want to be no stepdaddy. He not no simp. Da 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 da. But yet on TV acting like he crying because Cole got sent home. We sitting up here looking like this dude got a mental problem or something. I don't know. We confused. We don't. And at that moment, I realized. I said, man, is this dude really, really crazy, or production put him up to it? They trying to get TV ratings because you know how like Kevin Samuels used to say, I can't make this ish up. I can't make this stuff up. So we sit up here looking like, bro, this is TV. This is what we signed up for. This stuff right here. Because only production, or maybe this man really trying to typecast himself because he's trying to get in a Tyler Perry movie. Because that man really want to be famous. So he trying to do whatever he can to get some clout so he can be in Tyler Perry movie, a Tyler Perry movie. He probably thought he should have been in Mia Cooper. Was it Mia Cooper? What was the last Tyler Perry movie on Netflix? He,
Mia Copa, whatever it is.
he like, Tyler Perry, I know you see it on network. I know you cool, That's how LeBron was. LeBron trying to be in the next movie. So he doing whatever he could so that the world can see that he's this good actor. Because he's a great actor. You got to be a great actor to make up lies like that, boy. So I, that's when I figured out this got to be a production thing. This can't be real. Like it can't be real. Like
Mm.
I've been, I've been lied to this whole this is fake. This gotta be Ashton Kutcher. Where you at? When you coming out? So
Just to make it clear, you're saying that LeBron orchestrated a lot of this stuff within the group chat.
yes, like it's in the group chat. Like, of course, I said things in the group chat, and I stand
Mm.
on what I said. I said that, hey, I'm voting for Cole to get off. If somebody asks me who you want to get off, I'm be like, hell yeah, I'm voting for Cole. I'm voting for Mika. Those are my two least connected people at the time. What do you mean? That's how I always voted. I wasn't going to vote any other way. And for it to be a conspiracy, you have to get every other man involved to vote the same way as you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was only three other dudes besides myself in that group chat. None of those other dudes was a part of the group chat, right?
Yeah, it's
And
William,
on top,
yourself, Dom.
yeah. And on top of that, in order to make a quote unquote conspiracy work, you need to get the women involved. You need to pair up couples so that they can all vote a certain type of way to make who they want to stay to the end. None of that ever happened. So this man's crazy in the head. Or he just really just, I don't know, maybe the production put him up to it. I don't really know because I don't talk to the man. I don't mess with bro. And bro already know, like, he know what it is. Like, I ain't gonna go into all that, but I was confused. Everybody else was confused too. Like, how this man making our lives like this, bro? Like, bro, what do you mean? Like, we conspired to get this girl off the show? How? Like, there was no conspire with an Alexis. How can it, that doesn't even make logical sense? Okay, me and Alexis wanted to get Cole off the show, but me and Alexis didn't gather any other allies.
Mm.
Like that's the only way that lie could work, right? You have to have other couples involved. Like even the dudes in like all the other dudes. Like it's like weird to me how me and Alexis came together to get Cole off the show. So what they saying? Like Alexis was trying to sleep with all the dudes and like, oh hey baby, I want you to vote for Cole this week. What? These dudes voted for who they wanted to get off, and they voted how they voted. That's where I was confused on how this man can make up such lies like that.
Hmm.
That
Mm,
mean
mm,
it
mm,
would
mm.
add to been put up to this by production, or maybe he just really crazy like that. And you got the text messages. You seen them. Am I lying?
I really have. I really have. I really
You saw
have.
them. So I want you to tell me, what did you perceive from them text messages? You saw his name and hit you. We got iPhones. You asked me earlier, iPhone or Android. And with iPhones, your contact picture is on. If you write in a group chat, it's gonna show your contact picture, right?
Yeah, yeah, I can see. But obviously, in
Am I
this one, it just comes up as. Mhm.
yeah,
Listen.
man, it's delusional. I don't understand. I'm confused.
Did you want me to show
Like
the? Did you
I,
want me to show the?
uh,
You want me to show it?
you can show it. I really think that the man was put up to it by production. I don't know. It don't make logical sense to me. I don't understand it. I think bro trying to get apart. I really believe bro really want to be in the next Tyler Perry movie. He want to be in the movie so bad. He gonna crash trying to do whatever he can to get his big break. So I don't know. You know how them boys in Hollywood, them boys be out there sucking lean, get arts. I don't, hey, I ain't trying to cat Williams, the boy, but I just really think he's a strange for a piece of change to get his big break. I really believe that. So I'm a straightforward person. I ain't trying to be funny. Like I'm a real one. Yeah, I ain't trying to joke on nobody or pick on nobody's children, but like that's just how I see it, bro. Like that's what I think. It is what it is, bro.
Okay, so question. Obviously, um, See, I'll get the for you guys. Obviously, the evidence that I can get it as well. Obviously, the situation with yourself and LaRon. Do you guys ever have a conversation after? So outside of the group chat, do you guys have a conversation after? Because obviously, you guys seem to come to a head. So has there been conversation after between yourself and LaRon?
So, from a TV perspective, I had no idea this man was doing this. He decided to do this after I left the show. Now, notice he didn't do that when I was on the show because he knew I would have checked him. He knows that wasn't a fly if I was still there. This Negro waits until I leave, and I'm not there to stand on what it is, the lies that he's spewing, to start doing weird stuff like that. If you watch the show, he didn't do that till I was gone. When I was there, I was still there. I'm the one who eliminated Cole, right? Now, granted, production, they tell you who's going to go. That's the weird thing about it. We don't decide who goes home. We vote. We vote. We have a vote like we in city council or something. We sit down. How do you propose to vote on Bill 3233? I vote that we do this. Well, I vote that we do this. And at the end of the day, it's the people, the powers that be, that tell you whether or not that bill gets passed or whatever, right? Same thing with the show. It was a lot of times where certain girls were supposed to go home and they did not go home because production has a storyline and something to tell. It was times that Mika should have went home, but she didn't go home. It was literally 8, 9 of us. Mika. And then April went home. We like, huh? How April went home? We was confused. And that let us know, bro, they already know who going home before they go home. We just Muppets at this point. So, so even when I went up to, if you watch the pool party, they sent me to speak on Cole. It was between Cole and Mika. To be honest, Mika should have went home. More people voted for Mika than Cole. I was there. So they came to me, they said, hey, you're sending Cole home. And I'm like, damn, I thought Mika was going because I know how I voted. I know how the rest of the gentlemen voted. So I'm confused. How? So they told me, they came to me, hey, this is who you sending home. They tell you. I don't make the final decision. They tell you who you're going to send home. That's how it works. So people that be watching the show be confused. I don't know what people be thinking, but I know what it is. So I went and I sent her home. They tell me, hey, this is who you sending home. So I went up and I said what I said. I was still on the show, right? LaRon could have easily in the next lounge been like, oh, Will, you conspired against Cole. Did he do that? Hell no. He does. He knows I gotta wait till Will leave because Will ain't gonna play with me like that. I can't do Will like that when he there on the show. I gotta do that when he leaves. So how they do it, if you notice it, when you send someone home, right? Typically you're the next person to go home. In a lot of cases, not all cases, but majority of the time, right? Even with Alexis, when Alexis sent somebody home, sent Jonathan home, she got sent home the next week. Like when Cole had, I think Cole had sent Lamar home. Guess what? I sent her home the next week, right? Am I lying? That's how it works. So you feel me? He didn't do that when I was there. He waited till I was gone to start doing that weird stuff. Because he wouldn't have did that if I was there. I can tell you that right now. I would have checked that and handled that right on the spot. You feel me? He wouldn't have been none of that. So that's the truth. I don't care. Y'all can argue with y'all mama, your mammy. That's just what it is. You feel me?
Okay, I'm with you, bro. Listen, did you want me to? I can show the receipts if you want me to. I can.
Hey, show the
Only if you want me
receipts.
to.
Show the receipts. It's extra. Read all about it. I ain't got nothing to hide. Or, I know what I said in the group chat. I know who I want to go home. It's no secret. The world knew how I was rocking, how I was coming.
I'm gonna try and put it all in order. Excuse my emails, guys. I'm in emails right now. So I'm gonna try and do it in order. I'm gonna try and do it in order that what you sent me to do in order. Because the first one is okay. Sorry, I've got it in wrong order, but okay. So says it, LaRon is wild. LeRon's gonna be on my case. All right, so Sister LeRon here says, I'm not gonna lie though, I do got a good connection with Co, but I would understand if y'all don't want her on the show. Is that Green's you? Yeah,
That's me. That's me and Green.
that's
If
you.
y'all know how you
Okay,
chats work in Green, that's me.
that's cool. So you said you want to be a stepdaddy of two kids. LeRon goes, as far as Mika, I'm with y'all on voting her off, but I think that light skinned producer dude gonna force me to take up with her tomorrow. If he doesn't say anything to me before we film, then I'm gonna do it. But just giving y'all a heads up, nigga, hell no. William said my best connection for us Maya, but there's a few possibles too. Ron said I can see you with her, Vanessa or Patricia. William says yes, they're cool, but me and Maya just clicked off top. Ron said I feel you. Well, shit, I'm rooting for you, my boy. The second one is I think I got the wrong order, so I'm gonna have to go slightly
I
up.
don't know
Okay,
what it is.
next one is boy.
It's a lot
Here
of
he goes. Yeah, he goes. Lauren says boy. William goes. This is about to be funny. Mika and April. William says for sure. That's who y'all dropping. Yeah, they gotta go. So we keeping Co. Lauren says yes for next one. The focus is Mika and April. The next one would be whoever survives and Co.
you see what I'm saying?
Yo.
Bro, you even seen this man said the producer said
Ooh.
they keep Mika. That's why I said this is fake TV. But but that picture right there in that little bathroom, what that is? This man, the hotel bathroom. This man in there doing this or something. Looking like what the hell? Come on, bro. Like, stop playing, man.
We gonna need LeRon to come to the table because boy. He said yes. Next one focuses Mika
I
in
really
April.
feel like
Okay.
the man want to be in a movie so bad. This man would do anything to get in the next Tyler Perry movie. So they can use him however they want. He even said it like, oh, this person wanted me to vote this way. And then he'll get on TV talking about some old Will conspired against Cole. Will and Alexis. I'm sitting up here, what? I'm like, hey, excuse my friends. I'm like, nigga, what? Nigga, I know you ain't lying on me. The hood came out of me. I'm like, I know this nigga did not say my name. I was appalled. You feel me? Like, oh my Lord. I know this man ain't do that. Knowing dang well what he said in that group chat. It's crazy.
Let me try and get your other one. I think I forgot to put up one of them. So hold on. Let me let me get the other one up as well so you can get it. Let me see.
I wasn't even trying to vote for April. I don't even know how April got voted off because we at that time when April got voted off, she wasn't in our bottoms though. That's why I was confused. Like April wasn't really like now. A couple dudes said they ain't had no connection with her, but more people naturally said Cole and Mika the whole time. It was no conspiracy. That's just how the other dudes who weren't even in the group chat. It's only us folks. The other dudes who ain't even got nothing to do with this, they was voting how they was voting, right? And y'all see this on national television. These dudes are independent thinkers. I'm voting for this person. I'm voting for that person. That's why, like, I don't really understand how TV be thinking like they so smart. Like, I don't be getting it. Like, and then this dude was doing all this line on TV. I was like kind of confused. Like, bro, like what you on, bro? Like, bro, you trying to be in a Tyler Perry movie that bad, bro? You really trying to be on? You feel me? You trying to be on House of Pain that damn bad, bro? Like, what is you doing, bro? Like, and then the men were crying. The men had they didn't show that on TV, but when Cole got kicked off, this man was crying. This man walked around like, they let my baby go. Oh, I can't believe it. He rolling around on the ground, like running around. Like, oh, it's a conspiracy. I'm looking at Dom. I'm like, this your homeboy, man? What's wrong with this man? Like, this man on Flocka. This man on drugs or something, bro. Like, what this man doing, bro? Like, where I'm from, we don't play like that, bro. Like, I don't do all that weird stuff. Like, I don't know what you own. You know, I don't know if you like getting your booty hole scraped in Hollywood. I don't know what he on, man. I don't play with all those little Hollywood games, bro, like that. I don't do that TV stuff, bro. Like, to be honest with you, bro, I'm still street a little bit, bro. Like Like, I'm real street, bro. I'm like the type of dude that'll run down on somebody. You feel me? I don't play those games. So when people was like playing with my name, even when the whole little thing was when the one girl lied and was like, "Oh, he's sleeping on the floor," I'm like scratching my head, like, what the hell what did I get myself into? What kind of TV show is this? Because I didn't really understand it. I was confused. It's like you don't really know what's real and what's fake because you like literally sitting in the Squid Games trying to figure out like what's next, and nobody knows what's gonna happen next. Like until it happens, and then you gotta react to it real time. Like it's like you watching a good drama film. Like you know how you looking at a Michael Myers movie, and then you see Michael Myers coming, and then the girl running around the back, and then out of nowhere Michael Myers show up in the back. You like, when the hell did Michael Myers like walk to the back that fast? Like, man, I ain't gonna lie, that's how I was. I was experiencing it real time like a lot of other people. Like, get your popcorn ready, like it's TV. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, it's just a lot of stuff threw me for a loop.
Let me show you the rest of the. You said there was more, so let me read the rest of them so the audience get it. So this was another one. It says that. So the wrong song said, "Nigga, they probably did to spice this up and get ratings." Dumb said, "Well, let's effing go." Lauren said, "If Mika or April's still here, though, they're gonna be out for blood." You said they blocked us already, so someone told what we said. Dom said it is what it
I
is.
said
Lauren
that.
said
You know who I
facts.
was talking about. You know who told what we said. It was LaRon.
What?
Cause Will not going back to these girls, and Dom definitely ain't, and I definitely ain't going back to these girls. I don't talk to these girls. The only person who was over there sideburn with these girls was LaRon. He was these little girls' puppets. They was sending them screenshots from our group, like, cause everybody know I wasn't trying to talk to no Cole, and I damn sure wasn't trying to talk to me.
Mm.
So who else was sending? Who else was talking to these girls? Why would these girls
I have
block
no
us?
clue.
Why would they block us? They don't know what we saying in the lounge. So somebody is playing puppet master and trying to trick these girls into thinking something is happening that's not really happening. And the whole time you see this man in the group chat being messy, like trying to make it seem like everybody else being messy. When it's like confusing. Like, okay, bro, like, is you really trying to get a part in a movie or something, bro? Because you're doing a real good job, bro. Fooling the world, bro. Like, damn, bro. They got to get this man an Oscar or something, boy. That boy need to get a Grammy, boy. Like, the way he had started crying and faking like he was so sad when Cole had left, had us like, man, this nigga here, boy.
So
What
obviously, Lauren,
yeah.
Lauren's obviously talking about not the interview yet, and then said Co cut him off. I guess she was just using me. Williams says low. Okay, Dom says okay, bro. I know that was your baby. And the next one is next slide. So uh, which is okay. So I just mentioned the kid thing, which is important. Lauren says, "Nah, when you said it's apparent that it's more than just beauty to everyone, that was the ice on the cake." William says she blocked us. It's still there. Lauren said, "Then someone snitched, which the only person could be chat or the producer." Oh snap! Oh snap! It's getting bad. Hey,
I don't even.
yay.
It couldn't have been Chaz because Chaz was never in our group. We never talked to Chaz. So you can't put somebody in something if nobody talks to him. So to the fact that you trying to bring somebody into something that don't even get talked to at that time, we had just met Chaz. We didn't even know who
Mm.
Chaz. Like, mind you, this group chat was way in the beginning. Ain't like we had just met Chad maybe once or twice. We ain't really know bro like that. So of course, like when you start a show, you're gonna be more cool with the people that you started out with. No different than the other half, the other branch. Those dudes met each other, so they formed a different bond than the dudes in the first branch, right? That's who you came in with. Just like in college, who you come in with your freshman year is typically who you might be cool with later on, right?
Mm.
But in this case,
Mm.
like nobody was cool with LeBron, and I mean, not granted. A couple of those other dudes, they doing what they doing. They trying to get famous for TV. I don't know what they trying to do. I guess they got like a reunion party. I don't know what they got going on. I don't really follow it. I see it, but I don't know. I don't see how they want to be around somebody that just be lying to them and be talking about them behind their back. I don't know. I don't know how other dudes move. I just know how I move. You feel me? But my bad. I'm talking too much. I'm gonna let you go through your script, bro. Like
No, that's cool. It's good for the commentary. You give us a background. I think obviously he said, yeah, Chaz is someone told the producers because she knows something. William said that effing hate being lied to, bro. Feel like I'm being misled about the whole process. Lawrence exactly when we walked out, the producer said, but she had so bad though. And I told you another producer told me to go to the back for her in the lounge. William says, shake my head. Man, Chaz the one who saved Mika if she's not gone, lol, because I know Pastor did not. Lawrence says all niggas all went in on her ass except his ass. And the next one I think is I got the next part of it, so let me just go to it. I'm not gonna lie though, I did got a good connection with Ko, but I would no, sorry, that's wrong one. Ko already had a date set for yesterday, and April was home, so 9 out of 10 it's her, and she not answering my text messages. April followed me too. Dom said, "Damn, she did unfollow me. I'm hurt." I went to bat for her.
April got kicked off first before Cole. So this might have been
Yeah.
when April got kicked off.
Okay.
Now, granted,
Uh.
he ain't even vote for
Mhm.
April like that. We voted like everybody, not even these four dudes, but I'm talking about the other dudes that wasn't even in this group chat. Cause like I said, everybody had their own group chats. Even the ladies. The ladies had their own group chat. So this whole notion that we was the only one that had group chats is like crazy. Everybody had their own little powwows. They talk about the process, what's going on, how they feeling, who you liking. That's how the show works. So people voted how they voted because that's how they wanted to vote. It's just as simple as that.
Mm, I hear that 100%. William says, "Damn, see, this is weird, bro. Why don't we know who we sent home?" So this is less about finding someone and more about Hunger Games. I don't like that part. Laurent says this is bull crap. 8 out of 9. 8 out of 9 said Mika, and one dude says she was
That was
her
true. That
fourth
was true.
release
That's a
collection.
true statement. That's the truest thing he
So
probably said.
she was meant to go. Okay.
Yeah.
So Dom said who's eliminated. Ron said big facts we don't know. William said we don't know. And then the next one is
Who was eliminated?
uh,
April got eliminated. That's who got
yeah.
eliminated.
Let me go
What me?
to the messages.
Yeah.
Here it's up now. William said my bad Dom. William said what up fam? Just browsing socials and Mika either blocked me or deleted her IG. Laurent said same. I don't think she gone though. I think Chaz may have run his mouth. Tom said why you say he's run his mouth. William said she ain't gone. April is gone. She unfollowed everybody. LeBron said Co already had a date set for yesterday and April was home. So 9 out of 10 is her. And she's not answering my text. April unfollowed me too. And
Let's take that
that's
back.
it.
If he's saying that Cole ran her mouth, then that means he was talking to Cole, right? How can Cole run her mouth when the only person that talks to Cole is him? It's common sense, deductive reasoning. Like, how can Cole run her mouth? Who don't nobody talk to Cole? I damn sure don't talk to Cole. Dom don't talk to Cole. Will don't talk to Cole. Now the other dudes at that time, we didn't have a close relationship with them because we had just met them. We wasn't talking to them in our group chat because that group chat was created in the beginning on day one when we first met all the fellas. Hey y'all, but what y'all doing later? Hey, let's be cool. Let's link up. Woo woo. That's how the group was created, right? We couldn't have added those other dudes into the group because we didn't know who they were. We hadn't met them yet. Make sense? So if somebody is saying Cole probably ran her mouth, how can she run her mouth? I'm confused. Unless what? I'm just trying to help people to understand how this work, bro. Because like I was I was just as appalled to what I got myself into as everybody else. I was like confused. I was like looking around here like I know y'all lying. You feel me? Like I was like real confused. Like I was confused too. You see me good? I'm a little dark. But I was confused too. Like I ain't. It ain't really make no sense to me. Like one thing about me, I'm gonna tell the truth and shame the devil. But I ain't with that. I ain't with that fugazi stuff. You feel me? I ain't with that. I ain't with that goofy stuff, dog. I don't play those games. So if somebody gonna be pump faking and booty shaking for TV because they want a TV role or whatever they trying to do. Like I ain't with all that. Like bro, I don't really know what bro had going on and what bro on. I don't know kind of drugs, bro. I don't understand it, bro. But y'all see it. TV is TV. I just let TV be TV, dog.
Now, someone might say that these particular receipts are not real; they have been edited. What would you say to someone saying that they're edited?
I mean, I can literally go to the actual group chat. If you can give me sharing capabilities and scroll through.
You, I mean, you can share. There's a share button on your screen. You should be able to share, and I can bring it to the screen.
Hold on, let me see something. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see a share button. But hold on. Let me do, no, hold on, give me a second. I don't see no share button. But
Yeah, after this own TV, are definitely not bringing me on their channel again.
he said, "Who?"
I said after this own network, it definitely ain't bringing me onto their thing again. This thing is exposing everything.
Hey, that's what they brought onto themselves. Hold on. Hi, share.
It should be a wait. It should say present, and then you should be able to say, oh no, or
Oh,
let
like
me see. Let me see if I can do it.
yeah, I
Let
don't
me see if
have
I can.
present
Okay,
on
yeah,
my.
present, and then share screen. It should be.
Where's present? I see. It says stage, comments, chat. It says you're in the show. I don't have a present button unless you can make me a presenter. I don't know how, but
Oh, it should have a. It should be okay. Wait. What do you see on your screen?
so I start from top to bottom. So it says stage, all right,
Mm-hmm.
comments. Uh, I can't share Alexa's chat because nah. See, I didn't even know it was a chat button the whole time. I didn't
It
even
should be.
know.
I thought you guys would have it. Maybe it doesn't have it then. Maybe it doesn't have it.
Nah, I don't got it on my end. Like
Maybe it doesn't have it. I thought it did, but maybe you don't have that button. I thought it did. Everyone should
I
have.
don't got the share button. Like, you probably got to like. Hold on.
Oh, I think they said you won't be able to have it on your phone. Okay, I thought there was ability to do that, but I think because you're on your phone, you won't be able to do it. So
Oh, somebody said if you on the phone. All right, so I don't know what you want, but I can. It says join.
let me see if I
Let me.
can. Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to. I can't do it from my phone either.
All right, let me do this. I got it. I got one even better for you, Kojo. What's your number? You can I know
Uh,
your
I'll
number, but
text you.
I can add you to the chat and you can show it on your end.
Oh, I don't need to be in the group. That's it.
Hey, we put this online, bro. This is real stuff. This ain't no,
I
ain't
don't
nobody,
need to be.
can't
I don't
nobody
need to be in the. I don't
look.
need to be in the group.
I'm trying to have you show you so people can understand, bro. What
Bro,
this?
you got it on your phone. Just you can just. Oh wait, you're on your phone, so you can't even show it to the screen.
Oh dang.
I was gonna say you can't.
I mean, can I FaceTime you? Like you FaceTime. You can share your screen on FaceTime. Nah, probably that probably won't work either. I don't know. Maybe you can show them
Oh,
like if I share my screen on your FaceTime, and then you can like turn the camera around and you can show yourself. Oh no. Hold on.
you're on some carnage. Mm-mm.
Somebody say
Don't you not have a tablet or laptop? That's what they said to you.
they said, well, I would have to like figure out how to do it. I ain't the most technological advanced. I'm like somebody granddaddy when it comes to that technology. But no, I ain't got like no what's the name. Hold on. I mean, people know that's but he claims. get some pro. That's what LeBron pay for the claim. Time to edit. Somebody said he don't time to edit. I shit, I ain't got time to edit shit. I don't know what they talking about. That's hood dialect. That's how I talk. Like, what's it? Permanent grid. Permanent grand. Yeah, cool. I don't know how to. I don't know how to.
Well, obviously, I mean, obviously, LeBron will have to come and obviously clear his name through, some
It's hard to
conversation
clear his
too.
name. Like, well, I can show you. Like,
No,
hold
not
on.
clear. He'll have to clear his name, won't he? Obviously, you've given us, some screenshots, so we have to work with the screenshots.
But you seen the
I've
screenshot.
seen it. Yeah, yeah. And there's timestamps on it as well. So
It's time step, right? When it was time step, what was the date on there, Kojo?
I think
What
May. I saw May.
May of
May, I
what
think.
last year, right?
Hmm.
If it was in
Yeah.
May of last year, I literally carefully walked this through like an attorney, like I've been in the courtroom. So I literally said we started recording it. Didn't I say in May of what? 23, right?
Hmm.
So if we was recording May of 23 and you said it was time stepped in May, come on, man, come on. Ain't nobody pump faking for the world, man. Look, everything I'm saying is what it is, dog.
That's fair.
Somebody said, did you stand on business? Well, it's kind of
I
hard
did,
because at the
mhm.
reunion, it's the first time that you even know that this stuff is even a thing. I didn't know none of this stuff. I had got eliminated. I didn't know anything about no dang text messages or this or that. I didn't know. My first time hearing about this was at reunion. And like as I stated earlier, for people that been on it from the beginning, you get to reunion, and this is the first time you see how they do their editing. Don't nobody we had, this like Squid Game. We don't know anything about anything, how they gonna edit stuff, how they gonna put stuff on TV. I didn't know anything. All I know they talking about something about something about a dang group chat. And I'm like, group chat? What are y'all talking about, group chat? And then you got LaRon and everything talking about somebody said, "Are you from Florida?" Yeah, I'm from Florida. Born and raised. I'm a Florida boy, through and through. Like straight out of Broward County, Florida, like South Florida pumping up. So, going back to it though, you know what I'm saying? Even if he was on the floor, it's in a high rise.
Well,
Uh,
before you
I,
address the floor comments,
uh,
obviously you're part of the group of men that pulled off Alexis from Jonathan. I want to get your perspective on what happened there. What happened with the Jonathan situation with Alexis, because you were part of the people that pulled him
I,
off.
I'm gonna get to that, but you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna talk about what really. I see a whole bunch of like somebody say, "Oh, this is gangster street talk." Woot woot. Now that's how I talk in real life, bro. Like I'm from Pompano,
Don't let them pull you into that.
South
You're
Florida.
good.
I talk how I talk.
You're
Selling
good.
houses. I'm not a realtor. I don't sell houses, man. I'm a real estate developer. So I'm the person in the backdrop that buys the land. I own the land. I get my own money. I buy the land, and I hire realtors. I hire some of the best realtors to represent me, from Douglas Elliman to the biggest of the biggest brokerages in the world, to represent me and sell my homes. I'm a ghost. I'm literally a ghost. Don't nobody know it's me selling these $1 million properties. They don't really know it's me unless I post it on Instagram. Now, if I post it on IG, then somebody that know that that's one of my properties that I'm building. But like at the same time, like I'm literally a ghost. I got LLCs out of Delaware, which is a privacy state, and I literally put my bread up. I buy a lot for 100,000, 200,000. Maybe I put 500,000, 600,000 into building it, and then boom, you make the profit. It's just that simple. But anywho, you want me to talk about
Yes,
pulling?
the situation with Alexis had to be pulled off Jonathan. I want to know from your perspective what happened. From your perspective.
I'm a developer. I'm not a builder. I'm a developer. Um, I don't sell homes to nobody. I'm not out here looking for
Don't let them pull
clients.
you in. Will, don't let them pull you
Not
in.
anywho, as you were saying,
Hmm.
explain that moment, what happened, what was
Yeah,
going through my mind.
with Alexis. Yeah, what happened there?
Honestly, in that moment, like we was playing a game. Everybody know we
Mm.
was playing a game. Like we was playing like I forget the name of the game, but essentially it was like I don't know. Y'all watched the episode. y'all know the name of the game. So in the game, they was like some little freaky game. Hot and bothered was maybe the other game, but whatever the game was, you feel me? We had a game, and in that game, that's when somebody said that's a lot of capital need to get started. That's the conference.
Don't listen to him, bro. Trust me. I promise you. If you keep reading, you're gonna get distracted, bro. If you
You're
keep
right.
reading, you're gonna get distracted.
You're
Yeah,
right.
you're telling a good story. We want to know. Go
Somebody
on.
knows off and know you. But anywho, I mean, was playing the game. Like I said, TV is produced TV. You feel me? They produce stuff by how they produce it. So they was playing the little, like I said, little freaky game, whatever, you know. And then at that point, they was like, "Oh, if you got a connection," I forget exactly how they phrased the question because I wasn't really listening in that moment because I was sitting and waiting on the other side. I was like kind of close by Lexi, but like I wasn't really like focusing in on it. So like, bro had, I guess, bro like a toe man or whatever. So bro like did what he did or whatever the case may be. Whoop de whoop. And then I was looking at her, and like I ain't know whether she wanted him to stop or not, cause she ain't push him off. So I'm like, at the end of the day, that ain't my old lady. Me and her cool, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. Like, but me and her ain't. You feel me? We weren't like that at that particular time. Me and her, we cool, but it wasn't like she was my old lady or something. So I ain't really look at it like, oh, this man on my girlfriend. Boom, let me get him off immediately. I was like, you know what? She a free agent. I'm a free agent. So I'm just looking at her. I'm like, is you enjoying this or not? I'm like, is she for the street? I don't really know how she gonna take it. I'm trying to see what she gonna do. Now, over a certain period of time, I started to see like, all right, bro, doing a little too much. I said, dang, bro, you gotta stop, man. So I kind of came, hey, break it up, y'all break it up. So that's when I came in. But like I was just letting her do what she did. Like I ain't at the end of the day, I was letting the girl do what she did. Like she's a grown woman. So who am I to stop what she got going on? So like I said, I was just trying to see like how she was gonna react to the situation because she was one of my connections at the time. So I'm just I'm just eating the popcorn too. Like, this is interesting. Like, why he doing all that? Like, what y'all got going? I ain't really know what was going on. I'm just as appalled as everybody else watching it happen real live. So we like, I'm looking like, huh? Why he doing that? I ain't really know.
Did Alexis obviously discuss with you how she felt about the situation after?
Now she did. Now she said it made her uncomfortable. Now, and like immediately thereafter. Now, mind you, this was the day that Cole went home. So she explained, like thereafter, she was like, basically like that made her feel uncomfortable. So in that moment, I said, "Oh dang, I ain't really know if she liked it or not." But she did say that, "Hey, this made me feel uncomfortable." So I was like, oh, "Okay, cool." We talked about it. Woo, woo. All right, cool.
Okay, so she did feel uncomfortable at the time. It's just that obviously I know he obviously apologized, but I wanted to get your perspective on how you see that as well.
They, they,
Um,
they in the chat being messy, talking about Chad. He don't talk to broke
yeah,
boy.
Chaz already just sent a super chat, and shout out to Chaz as well for the super chat. We appreciate you as well. Thank you for that.
Chad was probably
Okay,
the only dude on our show who had money besides me and Chaz, like by far, probably the only dudes that had money. Like that's it. Like, well, I no
you say
Dom. No, Dom got a good career too. Now Dom got a good career. Dominique got a good career, so I can't hold Dom. But like we was probably really the only three dudes that probably. Well, now William. William was in the military. You know how military work. You know, Brad probably had a military check. Whoop, whoop. But I don't know. But anywho, yeah, they said Will don't read the chat. Well, hey, if
don't
y'all
read
want
it, chat, bro.
check
They're gonna
and
send you.
start writing
They're
in
gonna
the
send
chat.
you off to. They're
Yeah.
gonna send you off to the edge. Last question, obviously. Then, the situation with obviously Patrice. You went hellhounding to find out who was saying that you slept on the floor. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to go about it the way you did in regards to trying to find out who said you slept on the floor.
Yeah, so like in that moment, I ain't even know. I didn't even know like that had been said until Alexis. said it to me at a bubble date. Like like I said, me and Alexis was cool, but you know, Alexis wasn't calling me, telling me every little detail of what happened. So when Alexis said that on my little bubble date, right? You know, on your bubble date, they give you feedback from what Alexis is saying. Um, so you know, she came and she was like, "Hey, this is what one
Yeah,
of the ladies
it's
said."
cutting
She
out,
never
Will. It's
said
cutting
who
out, Will. Hold
was
on.
cutting out.
It's cutting out, Will. Yeah, it's cutting out. Hold on. Are you back? Can we hear you?
You hear?
It's
Can you hear
still
me?
breaking out a little bit. Okay,
Can
I
you
think
hear
it's
me?
coming back again. It sometimes does that. It comes back, but it's sometimes a little
I
bit.
gotta put my phone on charge. Thing going dead. Hold on.
You put on charge, guys, because we got last five
I
minutes.
gotta
So
put
we
it on
want to
charge
use
right
this
now.
because
Hold on.
I don't want you to lose out.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yo, what was the last thing you heard from me?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we didn't hear anything. Can't lie to you. It stopped out. So the situation between finding out Patrice, wanting to find out who actually said you slept on the floor. First and foremost, do you sleep on the floor?
Hell no.
Okay, great. Number two, um, why was it such a big thing for you to try and find out who said that thing about you? Because you said you're gonna go to war.
Yeah, so at that time, you know, like I said, the first time I heard word of it was when I had a bubble date with Alexis. So when Alexis said that, I'm looking around like, huh? Who said that? Because I was confused. Because I ain't never told nobody no crap like that. So that in that moment, I said, bro, this TV stuff, bro, they be they just trying to get some spice and some ice, spice and ice. So she said that to me, and in that moment, I got a little hot. I'm like, damn, bro, who lying on me? And in that moment, I didn't understand how TV really worked. So when I heard it, I'm like, mad. Like I'm from Florida. Like, well, where I'm from, and somebody call you broke, like we be like, shit, what you mean? Get you some money. Like that's how we is where I'm from. I'm from South Florida. So and somebody calling you broke, you gonna flex on them. And that's on anybody. Like where we from, we flex on haters. Like we flex on haters, we pull our cars out, you feel me? Whatever, jury, whatever, you gonna flex on the hater. So when I'm hearing, like, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, who the hell? I'm like scratching my head, like, who the hell would say that? I was confused. I didn't know who said that. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I'm like, you see in the episode, I'm like going around like, hey, somebody said I was broke, sleeping on the floor. Cause I was a little pissed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, I'm like looking around, I'm like, boy, I know you lying, boy. So I'm ready to like spark off on somebody. You feel me? I'm like looking around like, who would say something like that? I'm confused. So I'm saying, hey, I'm walking around. I'm like, somebody said I was broke. I'm from Florida. Ain't nobody finna side me, dog. You ain't finna size me. You ain't finna be calling me broke. Like, have something better to say. At least have some proof and some evidence. Like me, I got proof and evidence of somebody lying in a group chat saying that we started a conspiracy against Coke. Have some proof, right? And somebody was sleeping on the floor. At least show a picture of the man's flow before you start saying something on national live television. So that's why, like, I got so pissed. So when I heard her said that, bro, I was pissed. I was like, this war, like, it is what it is, bro. Like, you ain't finna be stepping on my name. And to be honest with you, I would have did that to anybody. Like, that's just how I am. Where I'm from, you can call it ego, pride, whatever. Like, ain't nobody finna play on my name. So if I feel like somebody playing on my name, I'm a step on you. Like, I don't play those games. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? You could try somebody else, mama, somebody else. But with me, I'll pull up to your residence. That's just what I'm on. So like when I heard that, I was a little like mad because I'm like, dang, bro, why somebody lying on me like that? Why is somebody saying that I'm sleeping on the floor? I never said no crap like that. I obviously don't sleep on the floor. I got I got homes, houses, I got a high rise. I'm like confused, like why somebody would say I'm sleeping on the floor. But then later on, I started realizing that okay, it's TV, bro. TV, they be trying to like spin narratives because they trying to sell ratings. So when I actually learned what it was, I said, you know what, bro, you can't take this stuff so personal too much because like, bro, this TV, bro, like you can't control what people be trying to like spin and narratives and all that. Like somebody said, why it's so important to flex? Like, hey, bitch, cause that's just me. I'm from Florida, bro. Like, it's a Florida thing. I ain't expecting nobody to understand. Go on Lil Duval page, you want to understand why. Like, why people from Florida is the way we is. Go to Lil Duval page. You know, that is what it is. Like, so that's just what it is. So, you know, for my Florida gang, y'all already know what time it is. Like, You know what it is. Like, you know how he is where I'm from. Like, Florida is just his own country. But yeah, like, it bothered me because I was like pissed. I'm like, why would somebody say make up a lie like that? And then when I found out it was Patrice, I'm like, I didn't know it was Patrice. I didn't have that deep of a connection with Patrice. I didn't even like that girl. And as I stated earlier, I ain't really interested in dating nobody who got kids like that. So when I found out it was her, I was like scratching my head, like, what in the hell led this girl to say something like this? What the hell? I was confused. I couldn't understand what led this girl to believe something like that. So that's why I was so mad at the time. Like, damn, this girl right here saying like this and that. And then, like I said, you know, and then when I realized that it's like produced TV and maybe they probably put her up to it, I ain't really know. I said, all right, I'm gonna let it ride. I'm like, man, I ain't even gonna trip, bro. Like, you feel me? I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna let it ride. I ain't even finna get so hard and bothered, you know what I'm saying, about it. But in that moment, bro, I was 38 hot. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but I was 38. Like, ready to, I ain't do shit. I was ready to spark off on everybody. I was gonna cut. That's how we is from Florida, bro. I'm from Pompano, Florida, bro. Like, we don't play about that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just I don't play on that lies, that speaking on my name, making up stuff on TV for the whole rest. I don't like that, bro. That's it for me. I can't hear you, bro. You on mute. You on mute, bro.
Sorry,
You on
sorry,
mute.
sorry. I
Yeah.
said no, no. I definitely hear you though. And I get it. You don't want no one to play with your name and to play with, the fact that you've you built up yourself, and you don't want people to kind of like, take the mick out of you. So I understand that, man. Reputation is important. So you nuke it in the bud, and that's why you wanted to do what you did. Okay, I get it. I understand that. You know what I mean? I don't agree with it, but I understand it. You know what I'm saying to you? So I understand that. But I promised you 2 hours, and I've gone over the time a little bit. So um, quickly, obviously, Will, have you got any projects, anything like charities, anything like that you're doing at the moment that you want us to get behind? Any projects you want us to get behind?
At the moment, a couple of projects. Anybody else here know real estate? I got some projects over there in Knox, Henderson, Lakewood area. I got a couple like $2 million projects. Homes I'm selling for $2 million. I am giving back. So from a giving back aspect, I'm giving back to single moms. I just had an event February 9th. It's on my page. I had an event called Purpose and Passion. You feel me? And essentially what we did was we gave the single moms that we want to have a time in which we gave to community and get in them environment in which they can come in, and network with other like-minded individuals. We had probably over 100 millionaires in the room. Good time for networking. So I have some more subsequent events from that right here in Dallas. Giving I'm giving back to the communities in which I build in. Like I'm building in Fair Park, Dallas. If you know anything about Dallas, I was the first developer, public information, to start building $500,000 houses in Fair Park. So I do a lot of community work in Fair Park, giving back to at risk youth. Um, you know, so I got a lot of those things going, like different things of that sort. Community projects coming up. If they follow me on Instagram, they can see all my upcoming events. I post it on my Instagram, so everything, it is what it is. Everything is on my, whatever I care to share, I share on my social media. So yeah, uh, you know,
I appreciate it. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for that, Will,
said,
man.
don't tell us about
And
how have you gave back
don't
last
I
month?
told
What
you,
do you
bro.
want to do in the future?
You read those chats, you go and get yourself killed. People
You're
say
right.
stuff
I
just
can't
just to
read
know.
everything. It comes so
You
fast. You
can't.
see what you see.
It go get you. It gonna get you in trouble. Don't read it.
No,
Let me
you're
just
right.
shout
I
out
ain't gonna
to
read it.
some of the members, obviously, as well. So shout out to them. We have some new members come through. Cleo, Erica B. Shout out to you guys. Spicy chocolate, thank you, and Angel Radcliffe, Dom as well. Shout out to Dom as well. I know he's from the show. And I wanted to say thank you for those who super chatted. Chaz said enjoy. I hope we get to have Chaz on here as well a little bit later on. Shout out to him for the $99 dollars as well. Thank you. We've got Seaway says Kojo the new Tiz filler. Laugh myself. Y'all get in tune. Thank you for that as well. Seaway then end up saying live chat gonna be gone in the replay because y'all this fool decided to show the two little Draco. Then LeRon Messi implicating Chaz Young and the Sassy as well. I didn't even see that you did the Draco thing. Did you do a Draco? Leia, you did a Draco? Oh man, Will, you did a Draco. LeRon gonna be on Tyler Perry with no clothes on. Absolutely shocked. I didn't even know you did a Draco. I'm gonna have to go and take it out now. Cheese and breadsticks. But listen, look, audience members, we appreciate you guys. Look, like I said, this is a place where people can come and tell their truth. I'm not going to stop you from telling your truth. If you feel this is Will's truth, so whoever wants to come on next time, and tell their truth, it's always important to. If you bring receipts, this court of law. We sometimes have the court of law, and people bring the receipts, and it is what it is, And it's not to be messy, but it's more to do the fact that someone has to establish the truth, and if they have the evidence for it, more for it, because we want to make sure that people are not lying on us. So anyone who's coming up next, hopefully the people that I get to come on will also have the same receipt, because clearly there's a narrative that's established now. So I think this kind of clears a little bit of William's name a little bit, LeRon's in the hot water a little bit, as well. And
no, Will was cool.
Yeah, William's cool. Yeah,
look at the chat, because he was accused. William ain't do nothing. William was chilling.
It's all good. It's all good. Audience, thank you so much. Much appreciation. We'll see you again very, very soon. Thank you again for this particular enjoyment and time. And we'll look out for the next particular interview. I know you guys want to debrief. I'll see how I feel. But make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate y'all. Stay locked, stay loaded. Shout out to Dom and Chaz who were in the chat today as well. And Angela as well, because I know she's been hitting me up as well. So much appreciation, guys. We'll see you again very